That's alright. Deck looks good. Folks in the Discord, make some noise.
Hello, make
Hello!
some noise, make some noise.
Alright, audio looks good. Audio is something I will one day get correct. That day will not be today. My mic gate acting weird here.
How are we doing tonight, chat? We all feeling good? We feeling
Hopefully
groovy?
everyone's good out there. Hey, TJ. See ya.
You know what? That's great.
Hey, folks in the call here, familiar with
Yes,
audio.
hello.
When you have a noise gate, turning it down means the gate opens more readily, correct?
Yes, turning the noise gate down lowers the threshold of the gate, so you'll be able to cross it easier.
Yes.
Thank you. Because I was getting chopped off a bit on my mic, but it looks like we're good now, so I think we can finally go live. Welcome everybody. Make sure I got everything, all the requisite stuff open. All right, I think we're good to go. Welcome everybody to Week 4, Game 3 of a month of tabletop horror games. I'm, as always, your host, Heretic Soul, and tonight we are playing Chamber, a game by John Harper built on the Aegon system, created by John Harper and Sean Nittner. So I am joined tonight by three lovely guests. Let's do some quick introductions. I'm joined tonight by Abbott.
Hello there, how are we all doing tonight? My name is Abbott, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm looking to have a great time this evening.
Excellent. And I'm also joined tonight by Copper.
Hi, I'm Copper. I also go by he, him, and tabletop RPGs are great.
Yeah, they are.
Fantastic. And joined once again by Lou.
Hello, I am Lou. I go by they, them mostly, he, him sometimes. I sure do like weird stuff.
You like cool stuff, come on.
Nah, I mean, like, we're about to play Chamber, a game about weird stuff. I like
That's
weird
true.
stuff.
That's true, that's
It's
true.
true.
Weird with a capital W and a capital Y.
Yeah, and we are, to highlight a thing in chat, we are graced tonight by the dulcet tones of the Control soundtrack, minus Take Control by Old Guards of Asgard, so that I don't get DMCA'd. I made a special playlist just so I could remove that song.
Hi.
I don't know if that's a problem, but I know that the streamer mode in Control removes that song, so I was like, you know what? No.
Love to
All right.
not get DMCA'd.
So, Chamber is a game, speaking of, Chamber is a game heavily inspired by settings such as Control, such as the SCP Foundation. It is a story of alien mystery and Cold War peril. So, to get started here, I will go ahead, let's do a quick introduction to the system, let's do quick character introductions, quick safety discussion, and then we'll jump right in. So, some quick background on Chamber. The year is 1968. 2 years ago, on January 7th, 1966, an alien energy, now known as the Signal, reached the Earth. It spread through telecommunication systems, affecting people and technology around the globe. Its existence is not publicly known, though its strange effects have been widely reported. You work for Chamber, a secret agency tasked with containing or destroying signal-resonant materials, SRMs, objects imbued with the signal, as well as containing its transmission and dealing with people harmed by it, or working to harness its power. You and your cell may employ cover identities as federal agents, FBI, DOE, marshals, etc., as needed in pursuit of your missions. Secrecy is paramount. The identity of your superiors is not known to you. You receive written orders for your missions by courier. The signal causes a multitude of bizarre and dangerous effects, temporary or permanent with prolonged exposure, including loss of memory, hearing, speech, or balance, visions, hallucinations, and compulsions, nullification or amplification of physical and or electromagnetic processes. Signal effects manifest most strongly within a 5-kilometer radius around SRMs and through radio and telephone systems. Ask your doctor if signal-resonant materials are right for you. By harnessing this signal, it's possible to create unconventional technology producing paranatural effects such as anti-gravity, invisibility, thought reception, and data redacted. However, direct exposure to the signal during the engineering process leaves the technician with transient global amnesia, making replication impossible. Each signal tech device is therefore unique. Attempting to analyze or repair existing signal tech results in a temporary fugue state, in which the analyst experiences lost time or data redacted. Hyperlink blocked. Most signal tech is flagged with the warning symbol. I believe it's like the little simoleon symbol. And sealed in special
It's fucking
containers
Cromer.
known as black boxes. Yeah, it's signal resonant materials, aka Cromer. And tonight we are going to be playing. So the Signal book, Signal is an adaptation of the base system Aegon, which I also have on hand here. But for missions to the book for Chamber offers a couple suggestions for signal resonant materials that can be used in play. And tonight we are going to be focusing on one or more of a selection of three. We are going to be working with SRM Cable, SRM Key, and SRM Devil. So, with the system introduced, let's go ahead and meet some of our players.
Absolutely. Popcorn it to one of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap on over to the game screen here. Yep, that's all fine. We'll start with Bill Daffrin. Actually, so everyone, you've all finished your character sheets, or do we have more to go through?
I'm good.
I'm good to go.
We don't have to do anything with the insight tracker right now, right?
No, insight is a reward. Insight replaces glory, or I believe glory is the analogous system in Aegon.
Perfect.
So once we get to a point where we have to roll dice, I might have to change something. I think it's set correctly, but
okay. Cards on the table. This is the first time any of us have played this system, so let's just jump right in and see what happens. Best way to learn is by playing.
Baby. Yeah, baby.
So let's do quick character introductions, and we'll start with Bill Daffrin, who is Copper's character.
Yes, Bill Daffrin is a private investigator who...
I'm sorry, wait, build a friend?
Bill Daffrin.
Okay.
Kind of like the opposite of Willem Dafoe.
I see. I see.
Hey.
I'm sorry that I had to do that to you, but...
No, I'm glad you did.
Is a private investigator who kind of thinks he's the protagonist of a noir movie. Is a designation Gumshoe and number 02468. I don't know how much more you wanted.
Oh, that works. So we will go on now to Ronald Zajac, who is Silmarill's character.
Ronald Zajac, alias Saber, is a late 20s, going on early 30s, son of an FBI agent. He grew up around his tough, gruff FBI father and was like, yeah, I'm gonna be just like Dad. And to that end, he's worked hard to be a tough FBI agent for all of his life, and he's had a ton of initiative. He did make it onto the force early on in his 20s, and unfortunately for him, his initiative has landed him a job at the top secret Chamber organization. He didn't want this promotion, but it was given to him. He wanted to be a hero as a member of the FBI for the rest of his life, and instead he got stuck tracking down weird boxes that he doesn't even believe in. He's going on 30, but he looks about 5 years younger at best. He's got hair like he's an extra in American Psycho, slicked back and maybe a little bit too wet. He's got a suit that he thought he'd fill out someday, muscles that somehow don't make him look less gangly. All in all, he expects himself to be a tough guy someday, but he's just never going to get there, and he's increasingly aware of that, which is causing him empathy problems with himself. He doesn't like his new assignment, and he's making it everyone's problem. He inherited the dad voice from his father. That's the one thing that he knows he's going to be able to achieve, is sounding like a dad. And his identification number is Niner Fowler61, and his pronouns are he, him.
All right. Cool. Last but not least, one Sylvester Tennyson, who is Lou's character.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Hi, it's Sylvester Tennyson, designation Lords and Ladies.
Ooh.
Pronouns he, him. Identification FS927. FS is for field scientist. He
Love
makes
it.
sure that you know it. uh, late 30s, ash gray blonde hair, olive complexion, slightly overweight, but in a sort of like laborer sounds like such a weird way to put it, but I'm trying to like there's like a body that you get where like it's thicker because you've just like done a lot of physical stuff in your life, not because
I
you
get
went
it.
out and worked on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wardrobe is one part Carl Sagan, one part stage magician. Is fascinated by the signal, perhaps to his own detriment. Ooh,
Ugh.
the truth is out there.
I hate it when the truth
Fantastic.
is out there.
Yeah. Um, he's been with Chamber, I think since the start,
Sick.
and that's been what 2 years. So yeah, like
All right. Yes, Chamber has been an organization. The Signal first arrived on Earth 2 years ago, so yes, this agency would be about two
Yep.
years old. So this is, as mentioned before, a game set in 1968 in the depths of the Cold War, at the sort of terrible peak of the American War in Vietnam. Dangers that you will face will come both from the alien peril of Signal and Signal resonant materials themselves, as well as interference and direct opposition from your rivals in the Soviet agency Strela or Arrow.
Is that what
What
that means?
Yes. What form those dangers take, we will those will come to shape as we set out on the mission. So before we get started, I would like to do a quick safety discussion, as usual. First, of course, the X card is in play, which means that if at any point you are uncomfortable with the direction that something is going in, you may play the X card in whatever form you like. That can be typing X in our Discord chat, saying, I want to play the X card on chat, DMing me, take your pick. We will bring the play to a halt. We will rewind play and take things in a different direction. We're all here to have fun. I would much rather redo like 10 to 15 minutes of role playing than press forward, leaving someone uncomfortable. Second is a system that those of you who have played with me before are probably familiar with, called lines and veils. Basically, lines and veils are this: a line is something you don't want in the game at all. It's a line you don't cross. We don't discuss it. We don't bring it up. It does not have any place in the game. A veil is something that you're comfortable with having in the game, but you would rather throw a veil over it when it happens. You don't want to have the camera focus on it. You don't want to linger on it. We say this thing happens and then move on. So if anyone has any lines or veils they would like to bring up, you can either say them on the chat. You can either say them here on the voice chat, or you can type them in our lines and veils text channel under Chamber on the Discord. That Discord channel will never be on stream, so if you don't want to say anything out loud, you can simply type it in there.
cool.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I don't think we will be able to tastefully deal with any kind of racism or sexism in the context of telling this story tonight. So I would prefer, as a line, we just don't do that. Also, as a veil, if y'all must include trypophobic content, things that just have like a lot of holes in places that it doesn't really seem like they ought to have holes, you are welcome to do so. But let's not dwell on it. I don't like to think about the kind of thing.
Good to know.
Very good. One of yours kind of overlaps with one of mine. My default line is one of my two default lines is violence of a sexualized or gendered nature, and yeah, the other was basically going to be no slurs regardless of what time period we're in. But yeah, let's not deal with any strictly racist or sexual or sexist content.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I have no real ones to bring up that have not been mentioned. I guess I always use this one as a regular one. Like direct violence towards children, like supernatural weird shit. Like I can take like exorcist stuff, but like
Nobody
like,
using a human motivation to hurt a child.
yeah. Spooky stuff, great, whatever.
I can rock with that.
Cool.
I'm good.
All right. So with that, let's get started. The first SRM that we will be for those watching, Aegon is a system about kind of telling your own great Greek heroic epic. Where the heck is the book? There it is. It is sort of told, told as one might tell tales of heroic deeds in a great hall somewhere, recounting grand adventures that you went on. Chamber is sort of presented in a similar-ish vein, but more as like, imagine this being told as a story of like, cigarette smoking people in a dark room reading over event and incident reports, looking back on things that have happened in the past tense. So, we are going to be starting with we'll see how many missions we get through tonight, but a mission will be comprised of, I don't know if that chamber has a real analog, like, I don't know if it calls out any specific analog name for it, but like, Aegon is broken up into contests, and each adventure concludes with a battle. So each mission tonight will be comprised of a couple different contests, including in a battle where we will learn kind of what everything that our agents have done on their investigation has amounted to. So, start by rolling for what our mission is going to be. I think we should start with let's start with the SRM cable. So, as mentioned, agents are all kind of, spaced out throughout the federal hierarchy. But you all receive your orders from Chamber via courier. And your orders this time come with a recovered bit of a cassette with a snippet. I believe 68 was cassette territory, with a bit of recovered audio. Recovered audio is as followed. The beginning is chopped off, but the static clears up enough for you to hear. Spools of paper with coded messages next to a dusty telegraph machine. The cable runs outside the building, is apparently connected to... Wait, did you hear that? The rest descends into static once again. So, I'm going to roll for what kind of the setup for this mission is. As soon as I get all these windows on my desktop in order and figure out what the hell I'm doing.
In there.
Alright, there we go. So I'm going to get some dice ready over here and roll. 1 for mission, 1 for lead, 1 for location, and 2 for anomalies. That is a D6, D8, D12, 2 additional D12s.
I can see the dice populating as you're about to make the roll. That's really cool.
Yeah,
That is super cool.
Nice.
roll is a pretty slick system, or a pretty slick little setup. So I rolled a 5, 5, 5, a 9, and an 8. Lots of 5s. So, the mission tonight. Test black box signal test and report results. I'll read the rest and decide if we're going to reroll any of these. Your lead. The original copy of a recent autopsy report was edited to remove references to strange phenomena around the corpse. I may actually reroll the mission, just for funsies. That's a 6.
You mean?
No, the mission. Under operations, the operations page in the chamber book, it has like 6 suggested mission types.
Oh,
Yes.
right. I guess
Yeah.
on the page I'm reading it says objective, but same thing. Follow a lead to locate an SRM, locate unauthorized signal tech. Either way, I got you.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
the mission will be to provide security for an SRM transport to a research site or for agents conducting signal experiments. A lead associated with this mission will be the original copy of a recent autopsy report before it was edited to remove references to strange phenomena around the corpse. The location, 5, will be an electrical substation and power line maintenance facility. And anomalies associated with the SRM will be material alteration, flora and fauna alteration.
Ooh.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, wait, I think I get... Sorry. Cutting back one more time to the mission/objective.
Yes.
What I'm reading in the playset is like a 1 through a 4, and then the following 2 things were like special opportunities that might pop up in those 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing that as well in my copy of the Paragon playset, Chamber
Whereas
Paragon.
What
you are
page are you?
rolling them as like a straight 6.
What page are you looking at?
Page
7?
Page 7, yes.
Okay, 6 and 7.
Yes.
Chamber Paragon playset version 1-3.pdf.
Oh, I'm on 121.pdf. I'm using an older version.
Oh,
Ah.
I'll explain it.
well, there you have it.
We should get we should get on the same book. Should I update or should I give you the copy that I have?
No preference.
I think, given the fact that 3 of us already have the 1v3, and it's the most current version, I think that would make sense. I'm gonna go ahead and copy paste it into the Discord right now.
Would be appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, that's my group. That's my direct message with Lou. Lou does not need this.
May
No,
redo that
I'm
rule
already
then.
using it.
But
I mean,
they got it again.
Do you want another copy?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Please
cool.
link me the book.
Yep, on it. There it is.
Thank you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to that reader that window. Much better. Technical difficulties, please stand by. Well, this is interesting because this is completely new text to me, so I am learning all about a brand new way to play this game.
Oh no!
The leads and the location seem to match, so hopefully they
Yeah.
didn't change too
I mean,
much.
they do, but like the old this operations page didn't exist in the old book, is what I'm
Oh.
saying.
No, that's nuts.
When we start with the 3 sets, so like yeah, I'm learning on the fly here. Well, this will be exciting.
Oh, so when I was saying that it says play in the past tense, you were like, "Where are you pulling that from, Lou?"
Yeah, no, this page again. This is this page was not in there. I was just sort of like, all right, so we just kind of openly play this. All right, well, let's do a quick reroll here. Let me go ahead and well then let's learn this live. So I guess we may only do one mission tonight since we're doing a lot of whoops. Oh,
That's
Whatever
okay.
happens, happens. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
It's
Much better.
enjoyable to learn a thing too.
Yes.
Love to learn.
Also,
So-
because honestly, while reading through Aegon, I was like, "Shit, I really want to play Aegon too."
I do really
It
want
does
to play
sound
Aegon as
fun,
well.
doesn't it? Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to roll for an objective. That's a D4. I'm going to roll for 3 starting leads. I think I'll also roll for a location. I'll start with 1 location. We can roll for locations as things move along if we need additional ones, and I'll roll for 2 anomalies. So we have an objective. We have 3 leads. That's a D12 and 2 D12s. And hey
Dice.
presto, rolling a bunch of dice. Many dice are rolling.
Nice, nice,
Let's
nice.
go, baby.
All right. A 4. So, the objective of this operation will be to follow a lead to Soviet Strela agents, discover their mission regarding the signal or SRMs, and take appropriate actions. Your leads that you have will be the original copy of a recent autopsy report, so we still have that one. A signal event survivor recovering at the hospital,
Ooh.
and surveillance photos covering the walls of a missing private investigator's abandoned office. So, one sec while I read through some of this text. Mouse player can prepare for the game by creating 3 initial leads and 3 starting operations. Yeah, this may not be as like interconnected a web as they perhaps intended it to be, just because again,
Yeah, Andrew,
this
I'm
is all
not
brand new
too
to me.
I'm not too worried about it this evening. However this plays out is how it plays out.
All right. So I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to present this as though we're starting a mission here. So, all 3 of you get a missive by courier, stating that you've been selected for another mission. And once again, just repeated the previous. You've been selected for cable. This comes with a recover sliver of audio. Instructions to destroy both the message and the audio sample that it comes with.
Mm-hmm.
It is believed that Soviet Strela agents have been operating in the U.S. in pursuit of an SRM that the agency has labeled Cable. Details on are slim, other than it's likely is connected to or is a device resembling an old telegraph machine. spool of ticker tape running from it and all that.
Typical. All right.
So,
So we're
one
playing
second.
this in the past tense, right? Oh, sorry. Yep. Yep.
Yes. So details that you have. You included in your message is a copy of a recent autopsy report from a small town in, let's say, Colorado, of a death under strange circumstances, written off as an accident, but that caught the eye of signal operatives. You are also given the details of a survivor of a signal event that Chamber believes may be connected to the cable SRM. And you are given an address for a private investigator who was believed to have stumbled into Strela efforts to recover this object and was reported missing approximately 5 days ago. The autopsy report, all this information comes from a small town in Colorado. I don't have a name on hand, but I can make one up if need be.
Water Springs.
Sure, Water Springs, Colorado. The body was recovered at body was found under a streetlight in front of a truck stop and diner off of the highway that leads through Water Springs. The private investigator's office is located in Water Springs, moderately unusual for a town of, let's say, about 10,000 people, but nevertheless.
Would this be long enough after... I'm sorry, may I start asking questions?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Would this be long enough after the corpse was autopsied that it would have already left the hospital?
The corpse is... That's a good question. I don't know how long one keeps a corpse after autopsy. At this point...
How long does one keep a corpse? Janet.
Let's cover that if we get to it.
Well, the reason I was asking is that one could investigate by going to the hospital and talking to both the signal event survivor and taking a look at this body.
Well, again, let's cover that when we get to the hospital.
Great.
The body was recovered at a truck stop outside of town. The missive suggests that is where you start. That is where you begin with your investigation. I'm going to make a quick note of anomalies.
Okay. I thought we were still scoping out where the first moment was happening. Okay, got you.
Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and cut over. So this is the information that you have, that there is a survivor of an incident, again, written off as a bizarre accident by local law enforcement, but caught the eye of Chamber operatives. A death just outside of town, again, written off as an accident, caught the eye of Chamber. And a death, and a missing persons case. Chamber believes all three of these are connected. They advise that you proceed to Water Springs immediately and proceed with caution.
All right.
Right. Which of us is the driver? Who do you think?
What do you got? A former FBI agent, field
I
scientist?
absolutely have my driver's license, so.
You say that. What was your name again? Sylvester is now in character saying this.
You can call me Saber while we're on this mission. What was yours?
Well, if we're going with code names, it's Lords and Ladies, but you can just call me Sylvester.
Sylvester, then.
OPSEC already out the window, I guess.
Who are you?
Call me Gumshoe.
Gumshoe, huh?
Very inventive.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
I've fallen into this character very quickly.
I shoot him a dirty look while knocking some cigarette ash out the window.
Anyway, boys, we have where do we want to stop first? I would. I guess. Sorry, out of character for a second. The autopsy report isn't saying that like. Are we saying in universe that the body is still there, or are we gonna go investigate like the crime scene?
The autopsy report doesn't say if the body is still there or not. If you want to go to the hospital, you can go to the hospital, and we'll answer that question then.
In character, I would like to go investigate the crime scene that was near the truck stop diner, because I could use, some diner food.
That feels like I feel like we could it would make sense coming like in from out of town, and we'd like choose a route that like goes by there first, so we can do that even before like engaging with police directly.
Makes sense to me.
Great. So to the diner to sort of corroborate what's in our autopsy report that we have with things around the location. It sounds like that's what we're doing.
Sure.
Cool.
You pull up to the diner. It is a truck stop. It is where today you might have like a Sheetz next to a bunch of only a Sheetz if you're in Pennsylvania, I guess. But a convenience store next to a row of both gas station what's the word I'm looking for? Gas pumps designed both for trucks and cars, and a lot of parking space for truckers to spend the night. There's a 24-hour diner next to it instead. You climb out of the car. The autopsy report indicates that time of death was probably about 3 days prior to your arrival. It's probably taken some time to travel, unfortunately. You arrive and immediately something's out of place. It is a clear night. There's not a cloud in the sky, and you hear a rumble of thunder as though a storm is almost overhead the moment you climb out of your car.
Really, in our line of work, you think we do more investigating in the daytime?
Too many people looking around in the daytime.
I'm
I've done all
hungry.
my best researching at night.
Look, can we just get a burger? I'm hungry.
I'm with him.
I'm gonna sure. A malt sounds wonderful.
Try to act like you're actually enjoying it, huh?
Oh, I am. But what?
Good.
If anyone's not enjoying it, it sounds like it's been you.
I mean, we did make him drive.
It's his car.
I'm gonna get a burger. I walk in ahead of the rest of the team. Or I walked in ahead of the rest of the team. Got there.
Great.
All right. So I'm gonna say this is our first contest. It's kind of the first step of a first danger you face in an investigation.
The burger?
No, the truck stop.
Yeah.
This is, again, we are playing in the past tense, so it's not going to be so much open roleplay until someone initiates combat, and then every character rolls initiative. When you enter a place where there is danger or where you may come into contact with the unknown, we begin a contest. So, looking at both Aegon and Chamber here, like side by side. Okay, let's enter our first contest. Who is cited in the report for this incident? If you are engaged in this incident, please reply with your agent number.
Identity FS927 cited.
Yeah. Identity 999 cited, sir.
Identity 02468 cited.
Ooh. We're all in.
All right. The domain for this contest will be human factors. The immediate danger of the signal is not present at this truck stop, but that does not mean that there is no risk or hazard here. So, there's a domain for the conflict. So, looking at the Aegon book here, so we've chosen the domain for the conflict. The next thing to do, because the way that Aegon and the Paragon system are built is that contests are resolved with singular dice rolls, and they are opposed dice rolls. So,
Oh, we have to. So we need to declare an approach and a goal here, as the hero / agent characters.
yes, and I need to present you with an opponent. I'm going to say your opponent here is so sorry, there was here.
Something to apologize for.
Oh yes, so sorry. Under your profile, you should have noted. So profile takes the place of what would be your epithet in Aegon. Do a little retroactive character building here. Profile takes the place of your epithet. Epithet would be, a heroic title for yourself, effectively.
Clear-eyed, for instance, in Aegon.
Yes. Yeah. Clear-eyed, bloody-minded, great hunter, hot-headed. In Chamber, you will select an epithet that, like, basically in an epithet, describes kind of what role you fill. Data analyst, federal agent, journalist, law enforcement officer, private investigator. This will be relevant when we get into the contest itself. So, I'm going to assemble the opponent's dice pool, and I'm going to say the opponent that you face here are... I'm going to say it is meddling civilians. That the danger you face here is both carrying out your duty without drawing too much attention to yourself, and trying to make sense of... and trying to conduct an investigation with people who have many versions of it. So, you are amongst the late-night crowd of a truck stop and diner. So that is 1d10 that you will... That is 1d10 that I may use. The ops player... And I don't really have let's make this an easy one. I don't really have a appropriate epithet here, so I'll not add any dice for that. And I don't think... I'm going to add one bonus dice, and I'm going to say the danger is Strela operatives are present in this town. You have just arrived and you don't know who they are or where they are yet.
Fair. We were following some Strela reports, so that would make sense.
Yes.
So,
Reading the Aegon rules, and I like to think of that as the equivalent of vengeful gods. Vengeful Russians are in the area.
yes.
Yeah. The wrath of the Russians can increase, which would make sense for this, right? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, but what I'm picturing for that is basically like, there could be Strela agents present at this diner. I don't have a clear answer as to if there are or if there aren't, but that is a danger you face.
We might find out if we roll poorly.
Yeah, the old man in the trucker cap at the counter could have a pistol in his pocket in case someone pokes their nose in too deep. So there's a D10 and a D8. I'm going to go with the lowest level of die for the Wrath die.
Yep.
So, in order to provide you with the ops roll for this, clear all. There is a button to clear all dice. How magnificent!
Nice.
At a D10 and a D8, I'll roll both of these together. Keep the highest roll. I don't think there. Let's see. I don't think there is a containment bleed right now. I believe containment bleed is what takes the place of wrath. Let me double check that. This is interesting in that Paragon is meant to be a base system that you just swap out a lot of words for.
Yeah, but it becomes... I don't know if it actually has a one-to-one with the last one. Containment bleed is every time we capture something instead of destroying it. And then we could have SRMs complicate things back at like the home base at some point or wherever they're being stored.
Right, and there is no containment bleed yet because I assume that on the sheet those individual dots mean add a containment bleed die. It does actually mark them. Cool. So
I do think you still add some level of strife though, because otherwise it seems like your rolls would be really low if you weren't adding that like flat 5.
Oh right,
Yeah,
yeah. Strife
you
is
should
usually
add the
plus
flat
5.
5.
Yep.
So going to add
Sorry,
a.
I meant more like yeah, I think containment bleed is something that like happens later.
Yeah, I think it's separate from Strife, and I didn't see anything in the Chamber rule set that like.
No, that's correct.
replaced
Strife is just a raw additional amount. All right.
I think do your thing. Sorry.
We're just
No,
gonna roll
no,
so
please go
well it
ahead.
won't matter.
Yeah, this will be fine.
Okay, so
roll
I'm
so
rolling
many
a
dice.
d10 and a d8 and adding a plus 5 to that, and the result is a 5 and a 3, meaning that your first roll here, target number is a 10.
10. Okay.
All
The
right.
highest of that. So
So let
we have already done who is cited in this incident.
We are all cited. So,
speak our names.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
don't
we-
remember. I don't remember how to do rolls in this. I looked at
Okay.
it earlier this week. I'm sorry.
I have it up right now, so if it's okay, I can read it off really quickly.
Please do.
Please do.
So in Aegon, we moved on to the portion that is called Speak Your Name. After the Strife player rolls and announces the target number, for us now it is a 10. They ask, who among you will face this contest? I'm sure there's some other cool, kitschy 1960s thing we can say here instead. Each player indicates their participation by speaking their name, so we will say our agent name or our code name or whatever. Take turns starting with the leader. I don't think we decided on the leader, but we did say that Saber was driving, so we're going to start with that.
Saber walked in first as well.
Yeah, it feels right. Saber
Yeah.
would make himself the leader. I don't know if I care.
Anybody who
I don't-
names himself
Tennyson
fucking
cares.
Saber, I mean,
Right.
come on.
All right, so
Yeah.
on your turn, you recite your identity and grab dice as you go. If your epithet applies to what you're doing in the contest, grab that die. You will always roll your insight die, which is the name die in Aegon. That's going to be a d6. So you could roll 1 to 2 d6s already. You will then grab the domain die for the contest. So that will be another d6 or a d8 if you took your domain as human factors. After that, you can mark what is it called in this? Duress. You could mark duress to include a die from a second domain in your dice pool. You can invoke a strength by calling on. Well, you can invoke a strength, which would add a 1d4 on top of whatever you roll. You can spend. Oh, we didn't set up bonds.
Oh,
Oh,
shit, that's right.
shucks.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
We
can do-
each get 2 bonds with each other, right?
yeah,
I think that's the entirety of it. There's not much.
yeah. I think
more
like you
that
can
has to
write.
happen.
You can write like flavors for them, but like for now, we can just say that like we all work with each other. That's the
Yep.
bonds, right?
Yep.
Coworker 1, coworker 2.
Exactly. So we all have just 2 bonds to spend. We can change it
Yeah.
as we go. You can spend a bond. If you spend a bond, ask that player to give you a copy of their name die or insight die for this game. And if you have an advantage die, you can include it. So, most rolls will be insight die, perhaps your epithet or profile die is what it's called. And then always the domain die of the challenge. On top of that, you can add up to 4 different other dice as you have abilities to.
Remind me, do the extra dice add, or is it
No.
like the highest roll?
So, when we roll and test our fortune,
Yes.
we all roll our dice, and the sum of your 2 highest, not counting d4s, is what you're going to take, right?
Sum of 2 highest. Great. Thank you.
So you take those
Yes.
2. Say your 2 highest was a 6 and a 4, so you have a 10, right?
Yep.
On top of that, you will roll any d4s you have and use the highest d4 number and add it to that.
Thank you, Lou.
That d4, as a reminder, is you may invoke a strength.
Yes.
You add a d4 and spend 1 tick in that strength.
Yes. And from there, equal to or greater outcomes mean you individually prevail. Less than the number that we're aiming for means you suffer. If we all suffer on a challenge, whatever. Challenge, sure. Um, then it's a failure. But as long as some of us succeed, then something good happens.
Okay.
Uh,
So I'm going to try to compose a roll, if that's okay.
can I throw in one more thing?
Oh,
Sure.
yes, absolutely.
So because I think as Aegon is explaining it, I don't think we had to like speak our name and say whether or not we are going to participate until we saw the opposing roll.
Yes,
And
I
if
did fudge that,
that's
unfortunately.
not, I'm not like this doesn't
Yeah,
anger
no.
me. But if you sit out, the thing you can do is support somebody,
Yes.
and you pass them a copy of your domain die to someone else that they get to add to their roll, and you gain 1 bond with them. So
Yes.
that's your option if you sit out. You either compose your own die pool and do something, or give someone else a bonus die and you get a bond for later.
All
You also
right.
get 1 insight or glory in Aegon, but insight you get that for support.
Yeah, you get a lot more insight if you actually
Yep.
succeed a roll though. So
Yeah.
that's a minor thing for supporting.
And if you're the best, you get the most.
Exactly.
Okay, so composing your roll.
All right. So I'm going to add the D6 from my just name or profile die, right?
Yep.
I do that, and then human factors is my domain for this. I don't have that domain, so it's just another D6. Um, I am actually it's a little early in the mission, but I think I'm going to spend a duress to add applied dynamics to this, which is my specialty.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that the idea here is that I have a very intimidating presence, and it's clear that if somebody starts something, they may not get out unscathed.
That's
That's
fair. What also what do you Oh no, we described what we do, right.
After the
right.
roll.
Yeah. So that's just a little flavor I'm throwing in there for now, just for the
Cool.
audience. All right. So that's 2d6s and a d8. Do I have to add anything else?
You do
No.
not have to. You can spend a strength to get another d4, but
Yeah, against a 10, I think I'm okay with this.
Cool.
All right. So let's give it a roll.
Oh, you don't have to roll just yet.
Oh, okay.
I think
We can all
everyone decides.
Perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep. And then we will all roll at the same time. Would you like to go next, Copper?
Sure, if only to figure out the dice, like the play roll app.
Yes.
So I am gonna throw in my name die, my base d6. I don't see where that is. I only see my profile die.
Yeah, so you can. So there are 2 ways to roll. If you click on, there's a little bar at the top of the roll screen with 2 arrows next to it. If you click roll, you can assemble a roll. Popping up there. I also included dice rolls on the sheet in case you want to click on those to pop them in, but it may just be assemble
I'll
some
use the
dice
one
for a
across
roll.
the top. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so d6 for being me. My d8 domain is human factors.
Nice.
And I'm not gonna spend anything. I'm gonna stick to a d6 and a d8.
Are you also going to invoke your profile?
Right. Private investigator.
Yes.
A noir PI walking into a diner to try to figure out what's going on. I think I could swing that.
You have a
I
pretty
think that
good
applies.
argument.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Though I will say, since this sort of came up right now, the Aegon book does say that the player character, the hero character, in this case the agents, have final say on whether or not something on their sheet applies to the role they're making. The Strife player, the Ops player, has final say on like epithets and things like that for opponents.
Correct.
That's all.
I appreciate that. I will still probably ask other people because I play so many games where like
Oh yeah.
I'm so used to number crunching and trying to power game that like when
Uh-huh.
I play
sure.
a more narrative system, I feel like I have to ask people like, "Hey, I'm not power gaming here, right?" Like
No,
gotta double check.
feel free to ask. I think that was I was more saying that for the sense of like at the end of the day, you get to make the final decision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so that's my pool.
Cool.
All right.
And then Lords and Ladies was also there. So that's going to be a D6 for my insight. We're going to do another D6. We're going to do another D6 for the domain.
As a side note, I can see the dice pool everyone has assembled, but I believe it'll only really show me what the grand total was. So you'll just have to tell me what the highest is.
Oh, it will show you all of the individual dice
good,
numbers
okay.
too. We just haven't
Fantastic.
rolled yet. I don't. As much as I could probably make a really stretchy case for field researcher being applicable here, I just don't know. So I'm not going to roll anything other than these 2 dice.
Very good.
All right. So, shall we roll, friends?
Love to roll.
Let's do it. 3,
Great.
2, 1, go.
Well, I sure did not succeed at all.
Baby. Oh, God.
You hate to see that. You hate to see a 6.
Thank you, Copper, for succeeding. Jesus.
This
got
is
this,
fine.
team.
This is fine. Investigation is not what I made this character to be good at.
I don't know. I'm not good at being inconspicuous, I guess.
I mean, you rolled a 10. You succeeded.
He rolled a 10 with 3 dice.
Yeah, I rolled an 8.
Oh, I'm
His
sorry.
top
Yeah,
2 are-
you rolled an 8.
Yes, some of the top 2.
Yes.
Which
My
yeah,
sum of top 2 is 10.
6, a 6, or sorry, a 6 and 8, and yes, a 10. So
Okay, cool. So, woo.
you are equal to or greater the strife number. Let's call it the ops number. Then you prevail. The action goes well, and you overcome the challenge. Prevailing hero. I believe everyone's roll does matter though. So if
Yes,
your
it
roll
does.
was equal to or greater, your agent prevails. The action goes well, and you overcome the challenge. Prevailing agent with the highest total is best. That will be important. Less than, your agent suffers. The action goes awry, or you have to endure the hardship that you propose. So before we dole out rewards, go ahead and recite, in Aegon's terms, recite your deeds.
Yeah. So I think
Tell us what happens.
We start with the lowest roll and move up to the highest. So high.
Hello?
I believe I have the lowest.
Yeah. So
So this where we would kind of recite this like a debrief?
Yes.
yes, you recite your actions. So you recite. So again, reading from the Aegon text, you recite your hero's deeds. Starting with the heroes who suffer them, and heroes who prevail, and the heroes best. Use the outcome to guide your narration, including your insert profile, etc., etc. During the recitation of deeds, the ops player responds with the actions of the opponent, either overcoming a hero or being thwarted, depending on the outcome. So yeah, starting from the bottom up, go ahead and recite what actions your player took, and I will tell you how they went wrong or went well.
So, Sylvester's a people person, but only in the way that he can talk at people. He's nice, but like you have to get him on a topic he knows about. So he thinks, "Oh, I'm not going to be very sorry. I'm talking in third person. This should be like in past tense. Getting used to the tone here. I attempted to Sylvester attempted to do some field to research the sort of area the body was found and corroborate it with his with the autopsy report, and fails, like really like fucking fails. I think. I mean, I think you see the shot where he's looking in the report, like was the report would say was in was stopped by local authorities, and the shot in the TV show of this would be him bent over and then seeing like 2 pairs of like local police shoes. They were just like there at the diner, right? But they see some dude like looking at the place where a dead body was a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Are they real police? Are they Russian police? Who knows?
Yeah, everybody knows Russian police aren't real. All right. So, I believe I go next. I'm gonna try and do this in the style of like.
So
Go
first,
ahead.
I respond to those ladies
Gotcha,
with
gotcha.
how they failed, and it
Yes.
is yeah. So I think yeah. Well, you kind of already described it a bit in that you attract the attention of the local police,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to go ahead and unfortunately I think I forgot to include a harm section on the character sheet, so you may just want a notepad doc for this one.
No,
Are we?
I have a duress.
Duress is yes, duress is part of it, but there are harm traits that harm qualities that I can inflict on you based on or how things go wrong if you fail in a if
Oh
you fail
yeah.
in a contest that will then affect your ability to perform in future contests. Under page 5, that's threat codes, where for example you may need to mark duress to enter a future contest or expend a strength mark to enter a future contest. Um, I think so. Yes, I think what happens to you is you're kind of caught by the local police, and you're able to talk your way out of it. You know, there are probably a couple cops parked nearby, hidden behind a tree on combination speed duty / watching the scene of a crime. I think the local news didn't let on how the circumstances of it. I think this was perhaps a more grisly death than than local news and authorities implied it was. And they see, as you said, somebody snooping around the former crime scene. You are kind of a people person, but you are able to
Yeah.
talk your way out of it. Your profile is a field researcher. You have the air of somebody sent not to, the cops are sort of like, okay, fine, we don't like you horning in on our jurisdiction, but it's clear that you're not here to cause trouble, so keep not causing trouble. And I'm going
Yeah,
to
I think
say, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like I think like even in the chamber system it says that we can like be parading as some slightly higher version of authority.
Right. Um,
So
but
you know.
you have attracted the attention of the local law enforcement, and that's not the best situation to be in. That's meddling that you don't need. Go ahead and mark threat code Omega Delta,
Oh.
which is for future
Ah,
contests. You must mark duress if you suffer in the contest.
is it so okay, I do not mean to um is it that I suffer in the future or that that is just what the harm is that I am taking duress for suffering in the contest?
I
If threat
interpret.
codes work like harm, I'm with Lou here. I think at the beginning, you like we know what harm that this contest will entail, and this is the punishment for this one.
So I actually interpreted harm kind of the other way, and that harm because some of the harms that you can take on are things that only come into effect when you enter a future contest. I mean, if you want to mark a duress right now, go ahead. But I interpret this as like this is a harm that befalls you in the future.
Well, well, yeah, but like the harm here, like in Aegon, right? So, for instance, the one that says Mark Pathos, which he would be
Yes.
marked duress to enter a contest against an epic foe, would be is like this foe is already set up to be epic, and so if you want to fight it, you have to mark a Pathos immediately to try to fight it, even before you roll dice.
Yes, but I'm giving you this. I can't retroactively make that harm
No, no, no.
apply before you entered it. When you entered the contest full of vim and vigor, you weren't suffering harm.
Sure, no, that's fine. What I'm saying is, I don't think like I carry the Omega Delta threat code into future engagements. I think when we are setting uh, a conflict, you can choose to have one of these threat codes.
Yeah, I think they're specific to a contest.
So what would an alternative I don't want to say
Oh no
punishment,
no
but
oh no no hold on. The thing he gave me also works fine. The
oh,
thing that
okay.
you gave me, Omega Delta.
Oh no, you're
um,
right because I'm reading the example here. So yeah, I should have come up with these harms ahead of the contest, and then yes.
That's totally fine. I'm still happy to like. It makes sense that I would mark a stress
Okay, yes.
here, regardless.
Mark a
That's
duress,
fine.
yeah.
Yes. So I will do that. That I am not arguing the outcome. I'm just making sure that we're on the same page as to what like harm / threat codes are doing.
No, thank you for clarifying that for me. I had it the other way around in my head. Okay, so yeah, this is retroactively. This is harm Omega Delta. Mark duress if you suffer in the contest.
Yeah, because then you can set the alpha ones when you're saying like when we're setting up the conflict and you say one of the alpha ones. That's when we get to decide whether or not we want to be part of it or just assist. And if we like assist, then we don't mark something to enter the contest.
That makes sense.
Yep.
So with that,
Yeah,
we
'cause
go.
it-
Oh, go ahead.
I was just say if someone got if it was the way that we thought it ran, where it like carried over, someone who got like a permanent alpha delta would just never want to enter contests.
True.
Yeah, but we can say that you said Omega Delta already. That would also make sense for the other failure here. We can just have that ride, and then in our next conflict, we will know this for the next one.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
We're learning, baby. All right.
But I believe that's me done. So the next person is yes.
So sad. I'm gonna do this in the style of I'm imagining I'm in a room giving the debrief, and the agent asks me what I did as I walked in. Well,
Yeah,
I did what we would do in the FBI. I walked in and I rolled my shoulders back, puffed my chest out, try to give everybody the stink eye. This is the sort of thing that we do when we're trying to establish a perimeter, right? Is we get in there and we show them that this is not their business and they should just look away and move on, right? That's how we do it in the FBI. That's what I did. I walked in and I said, "Don't mess with us." With my
All right.
eyes.
Okay, good.
With my eyes. Special eyes.
With my eyes and my shoulders and my chest.
Yeah, with my puffed out eyes and my rolled back chest and my hang on a second.
Yeah.
I
mean my puffed out chest and my rolled back eyes and my wait a minute. Hold on a second, wait a minute.
So you have recited this in kind of the debriefing room, and I imagine the person on the other end is like you're like sitting on the other side of a table. There is like a desk lamp on the table, kind of not pointed in your face, but pointed, on the table in front of you, such that you can make out the form of like a suit on the other side of the table, but you can't see the face above it. The suit on the other side of the table flips through some papers and says, right, puffed out chest, rolled back shoulders. The incident report says here that you got into a brawl with 3 truckers in the middle of the diner. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Well, I think that their relative condition to mine speaks for the result. I walked away and they didn't. That's all I'm gonna say.
You did still start a fight, though.
And I suppose the phrase... Yes, there is a note from your handler here that reads, failed to keep a low profile.
All right. I'll admit that this was a learning experience, okay? But we walked out of that truck stop just fine, okay? Get off my ass.
All right, so, Saber, go ahead and mark 1 duress for suffering in the contest. Go now to...
Me.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm looking at your character sheet and wondering how the dossier section wound up below the skills section on yours. Can you drag those sections around?
Oh, you can click the arrows. The arrows on the left move them.
Oh, okay.
That's
Because I
what
was
the
just like,
arrows do.
wait a second, where the hell is your designation? Okay. We go now to Gumshoe, who did succeed in the contest.
So I have a quick, not setting question, just the way we're portraying this. When we are telling this to the silhouette of a suit on the other side of a table, is it like the 3 of us in a room giving our back report, or are we each like interviewed separately?
We can kind of
By
play
our-
this out, however.
Okay.
Abbott
I
just
like
gave
to
some
see-
very good role-playing fodder, but go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, finish.
No,
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 I want to
you first.
hear what you thought.
I think it is fun to have a reason for us to comment on the things that happened.
Like interject on other people's stories occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to know what we were imagining.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
So,
fine.
I walked into the diner and I saw that my compatriots immediately set to expertly setting some distractions, as it were. You know, take the heat off me in some way, I think, was their intent. So, I went over to the table, ordered coffee, sat down next to two fine-looking gentlemen, and there was a murder across the street just a few days ago. As I have to imagine everyone in the area knows something about it. And just kind of make small talk to the locals. You can tell who's a local and who's a trucker from out of town. So I kept it to the people who actually live here who might know something.
Hmm. Right. So, what was the result of that?
It was a 10.
No,
So
I know the numerical result. I'm thinking about what was like the narrative result here.
Oh, sorry.
So the incident report, in your own personal write-up in the incident report, you were very thorough about some of the information that you gained about who might have been on the scene at the time of the murder. Also noted in your incident report that partially through hints dropped by the locals and your own, you used the word gumption and investigative spirit here. Your own street smarts, as you put it. You were able to locate a dead drop in the diner bathroom.
Ooh.
I am nothing if not full of gumption and investigative spirit.
All right, so one of you is successful. So now we distribute insight in place
God
of.
bless.
For some reason, now I remember what Aegon calls it, or what Chamber calls it, and not what Aegon calls it.
Glory.
Glory is what Aegon calls it. Of course, that makes sense.
It's experience points. Let's be
Yes.
real.
But for you, it is insight, I believe. Insight's the big bar, so I remember that was the XP one. So,
Yes.
the prevailing hero with the highest result is best. Only one of you prevailed, so the prevailing one is the highest one. You gain insight equal to the target number, which is 10.
Yep.
Nice.
No one else prevailed, so you don't get half of that. Each agent that suffers earns 1 insight and may take harm where he did harm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Game Daddy, giving me one insight. Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you, President Obama. I know
Ooh, so insightful.
I know that's
So
not how the rest of that text goes, but
we walk away with this with 1 insight, is what you're telling me?
yes, 2 of you walk away with 1 insight. 1 of you walks away with 10 insight.
Wow, not really in it very much at all, huh? Mostly just normal sight.
Yeah,
You know.
not so
I
much
feel
sight
like a
beyond.
genius.
Yeah, not so much sight beyond sight as sight on sight. The information that you get from the bathroom dead drop points you to the hospital. You know that there is a survivor of a. Let me get the exact text here. There is.
A survivor of a signal event, I believe.
Yes, I'm looking right at it, and I don't know where it is here. I know I'm looking right at it.
A signal number 7. A signal
you.
event survivor recovering at the hospital.
Yes, there it is. So, your lead indicated that there was a witness to the murder who was injured in the signal event who is recovering at the hospital. And the dead drop that you found in the bathroom is a dead drop intended for Strela agents.
I was about to ask, is this written
Yeah,
in
no,
English
this
or is
is-
this in Cyrillic?
I mean, it's written in English, but it is
Okay.
you're able to parse enough from that to put together, like, someone looking at it without any leads might not be able to parse much from it. You read it, and with the information you have from the leads you were provided about the hospital, you go, "Oh my God, they're going for the person in the hospital."
Okay.
Walk back out of the bathroom. Tell Saber to stop hitting that trucker in the face, and we need to go.
Oh, look, I almost had him. Come on.
Oh my god! Oh! He punched my uvula! Oh!
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like a voice to provide here, and I'm sorry. All that's coming to my mind is Scout from TF2 hollering, "He punched out all my blood."
He punched out all my blood. All right.
I don't know why.
And you walk outside and you see Sylvester having a very terse conversation with two cops.
Perfect.
Hey, shit. I know you said to call you Saber, but I'm not calling you Saber in front of the cops. You got like an English name?
Ron. Call me Ron.
Ron here needs to, and I wink like 3 times. Go to the hospital.
Oh, my arm. I'm hurt.
Sylvester looks over his shoulder. At that point, sorry, we cut into the debrief. At that point, I looked over my shoulder at them, and I thought, antics. All right. So I looked back at the officers, and I kept talking for about 5 minutes.
He made me groan just passively for 5 straight minutes until we were able to go to the hospital. You believe that, asshole?
I needed it to be believable.
Unbelievable.
No, it was fully believable. That was the point.
We're in different rooms. You can't hear me right now.
No, we're in the same room.
Oh, shit, we're in the same room, motherfucker.
We are absolutely in the same room, so we can have this stupid conversation. Anyway, to the hospital.
All right. So with that, in real world time, it has been about an hour and a half. How would y'all feel about taking a 5-minute bio break and then coming back to continue this mission?
Sounds good.
I'm having a really good time, by the way. I'm having a good time.
Same.
All right. So for everyone playing and watching, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. And we are back. Hey, now the text is gone. We are back.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Audio still works.
Hello.
Fantastic. So, shall we go to the next contest?
Yes,
I'm in.
a hospital
Yeah.
contest.
Yes, the next
That makes it
contest.
sound weird.
A hospital contest.
That's
What could it be?
Sound weird?
I feel like I'm fighting the hospital now. I don't know.
You are.
Oh god,
in
it's
this
alive.
In this game, you could be.
There definitely could be, yeah.
Yeah.
And I plan to
Alright.
win.
Domains, domains, domains. I'm sorry, Abbott, you earlier mentioned a name for our fictional Colorado town, and I rolled with it, and I've now forgotten.
Water
What was
Springs.
it? Water Springs, thank you.
The-
You know
Welcome
what?
to Waters, Colorado, the most Colorado town that ever Coloradoed.
I was just about to say, it's
There not be a lake here.
I was just about to say, it's like, it's perfect for the incident report, because it's like, yeah, this is a town name that sounds so banal and American that it surely cannot possibly exist.
Mm-hmm.
So, we return to Water Springs. The next contest, I will speak the name of this contest, which is Water Springs General. The domain for this contest is Applied Dynamics. So actually, that's not the name. This takes place at Water Springs General Hospital. The domain for this contest is Applied Dynamics. Athletic performance, reaction speed, violence of action.
Fuck yeah.
The name for this contest will be... The name for this contest will be Strela Agents.
Okay.
The setup for the contest, basically, Strela Agents are after the one witness to the signal event that led to the death at the diner. So, the name associated with this is Strela Agents. Do they have an epithet? I am going to say, what's it? I'm going to say the epithet for the Strela Agents is wet work. It'll be 1d10 for their name, and 1d10 for the wet work epithet.
Ah, okay.
I mean, they aren't Water Springs. That's just...
Right.
Yeah.
Where else would you do wet works?
I don't know.
That's what that means, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta do work while I'm wet. That's what wet work is.
Once a week, I think about that Oglaf comic with the panel. It's like, "Thus begins the reign of blood." Isn't that a bit grim, sire? What? No, blood's good. You need blood to live. So 2d10s and... I'm am I trying to think of if there's a third one? Oh no,
Is there a
so they're
bonus die?
2d10. I'm not applying any bonus. Am I applying any bonus dice? I don't think so. I don't think there's any wrath dice or strict advantage dice here. Maybe I'm pulling a punch. I don't know. But I'm going to say there is a threat code associated with this, which is Alpha Sierra.
All right.
Now, a quick question about
Yes.
since you have posed this one, Alpha Sierra, by the way. We will need to expend a strength mark to enter the contest.
Boy.
Does that mean we also get to like use that D4?
That's a fine question, actually.
Because I don't know if it says so in Aegon either.
I read that as no. But
Yeah, I would read that as no.
Yeah,
Because
same.
it's caught to even try.
The only reason I ask, right, is in Speak Your Name for Divine Favor. It
Yes.
says you add 1 plus 1d4 to your pool and spend Divine Favor.
Correct.
Under Harm for Mythic, which is what this is a riff on, it says spend Divine Favor to enter a contest.
So I suppose you would. It would make sense that you would get some advantage in a particularly difficult contest. I'm also going to... We can take a moment out of character here, because we had talked about... There were two... I only put one mark on the character sheet, but there were 2 marks next to each strength in the book. I am now interpreting that as you could mark down 3 individual strengths if you wanted, or you could mark 1 strength... Or you could mark 2 pips in a single strength, and then 1 in a second one if you wanted. So,
Yeah.
just for funsies, I'm going to say everyone go ahead and reset your strengths if you haven't expended any already, and if you would like, redistribute them as you would like.
I think
I set mine where I wanted them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I set mine where I wanted.
I was
to.
already good with that.
All right, very good then. So,
Um,
there are 2d10 associated with this. There's a
no bonus dice.
no bonus dice. I'm going to say this is a +6 strife, so that's a additional 1. And then the harm associated with this is Alpha Sierra, you must expend a strength mark to enter the contest.
Mhm.
So, I make the roll first. Strela agents.
I don't like it. I don't like when it's supposed to get rolled.
That is
Hachi Machi.
That is
Well-
a 12.
A 12?
A 12.
Yeah, take the highest plus
Oh,
6.
6
right, the one
plus a
highest,
strife
yeah.
level of 6. Yeah, that's part of
Yeah.
that's partially why I didn't do any bonus dice, because it's like I'm gonna put this at a +6. You are racing against the clock to prevent the assassination of a witness by Strela agents.
Yeah, we get to roll take the highest 2. He gets to roll take the highest 1, and then just add a flat number.
Yes.
Absolutely
yes,
brutal.
yes.
Clicked on
All
the
right.
wrong scene
So
there. All right. Who is cited in the report for this incident?
Agent number 9er461, Saber, am cited.
Lords and ladies reporting.
Do I have to speak now if I want to support later, or do I have to sit out now if I want to support later?
I think you have to.
I believe you have to sit out now. This
Yeah.
is a bit of a gripe that I have just now developed with the Aegon book, and that puts support and harm after the information,
Yeah.
where it turns out those actually apply like in the middle of the roll and at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
yes, you may choose to sit out of the contest to provide support. You may pass a copy of your domain die to the hero player of your choosing. Oh, who is taking the lead on this? Well, I guess Saber, you spoke first again, so
I have applied dynamics. Like, it probably makes sense for me to take the lead.
And
That would make sense.
I think lead lasts for the whole mission, doesn't it?
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does.
I think because you switch lead between missions. Like in Aegon, it's like while you're going from island to island,
oh
Like-
yeah.
come up with a contest as who's going to be the leader on the next island.
And
Yes.
you drive a car one time, and all of a sudden you're the leader.
You're
Hey,
the
man.
one who wanted to drive.
You
That-
drove us to the diner and to the hospital. You've driven a car 2 times.
Valid points all.
You said I have a driver's license, and one of the other two said, "All right, take the lead, I guess."
Fair
You
enough.
didn't reply.
I'm
Okay.
thinking Gumshoe definitely has like a DUI, so like probably.
Jesus. Yeah.
Okay, so are you supporting Gumshoe?
Yes, and I will sit out. I think I don't like add my support die until we get to putting die pools together.
Yes.
That's correct.
All right. Do you want to put your die pool together first?
Yes,
Saber?
I do. All right, so I get a D6 from my name and a D8 from Applied Dynamics. Let's see. Oh, I have to mark a strength to get in here. I think I will use force. I think that is a situationally appropriate one to use. So that gets me a D4, right?
If we are reading it how Lou read it.
Sorry, read that one more time.
I expend a
guess,
strength from Alpha Sierra to get into the conflict.
I mean, I guess if it's a harm, then like no, you would not actually get anything from that. So I rescind my original comment.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Considering it is under the harm tag, that's fine. I was, again, doing interpretation.
I could see two ways about it, which is one, like on the one hand, yes, because it's a harm, you know, it's a disadvantage, but on the other, it might be no, you still get the benefit from that because this is a tough contest.
Like Mythic Foe is like you're doing in the original game. It's like it's doing something like above and beyond. So like you need to invoke one of those to do it, right? Like it's like
right. Well, that's why I'm reading this as you still get it. It's like, yeah, you still get the bonus from it, but you're like, you can't enter this contest unless you're willing to spend that bonus.
Okay.
Page 59 of the Aegon book is a page on Divine Favor. And on the
perfect.
rules for the rules on spending Divine Favor, there's a couple sentences about how you can erase a mark of Divine Favor to add a d4, and then a separate sentence says, marks of Divine Favor may also be lost as a result of harm, which makes me think it's a separate spend.
I just lose back to the harm page.
But it's like, the first thing you can do is add a d4 to it. The second thing you can do is spend it for harm. I think they're separate, but I'm willing to play either way because
He uses a race for both. I'm gonna GM Fiat and say that you still get the bonus from it, and the way that reads is you may expend that strength because in order to enter this contest, you must be willing to put that strength on the line.
GM Fiat it is. I'm in.
Makes sense.
All right. With that result, how I can spend a bond in a combat, right? Or in an encounter. How does that work?
And you spend a bond, ask that player to give you a copy of their name die.
Hey, Lysander. I almost called you
You may
Lysander. That's not what your name is.
Because again, they spread this out for some reason. You may also spend a bond to ask that character to block harm for you. They say how they defend you, and neither of you suffer the harm. So you could spend a bond to get into this contest without having to spend a strength mark.
I would like to invoke a bond to ask Sylvester to give me a copy of their name die for this contest.
Sure.
All right, great.
Also, are you invoking your profile as well?
Oh yes, I'm a federal agent, so I believe I have a direct inverse relationship to these Strello motherfuckers.
Yes.
So I believe that gets me another D6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So I didn't mean to roll that. Apologies.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. D6, D4, D8, D6 from Sylvester, and then a D6 from my profile. All right, let's give it a go.
Well,
and then I
hold
need
on.
to do mine too.
Oh, sorry. Well, okay.
That's
Too
fine.
late.
We'll keep it there.
I will give my bonus die to Sylvester because they haven't rolled yet.
Perfect.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
So I will take my D6 for my name or my insight. I do not think field researcher is going to work here. No. I get another D6 for the applied dynamics. I'm going to get your support die.
Which is my applied dynamics, which is also 6.
Great. I also need to spend a strength here, so I think this will be intuition. And then Hold on 1 second. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, and then what I'm going to do is I am actually going to mark a duress to invoke a die from a different from a second domain, and I'm going to invoke mine from noetic vectors to get a D8.
Nice.
So I will that's all my dice, and I will roll those now. I'm so glad you did it because I got a 9.
That D4 is a 1, right? Yeah, you got a 9. Jesus.
I got a 9. So
Jeez.
super cool and great and good.
Oh, I forgot the D4 had separately. I was like, oh, Sumerian barely made it. No, he fucking rolled a 16. Like,
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So
So that
cool and
is,
good and
as a quick, actually, I was about to ask for a reminder, as I don't have the text in front of me.
what's up?
I was just checking how you determine roll. Sum 2 highest dice plus divine favor. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So a 9.
All right. So lowest narrates first, right?
Yeah. So we cut to a close up of Sylvester's face, and he's smoking, and he just goes, "Well, I attempted to use what I knew about the resonant factors of people affected by the signal to bypass speaking to the nurses." And he turns away. And basically, Sylvester got ding dang lost.
Well, so going forward, you tell me what you did, and I tell you how
Okay.
it went wrong.
That's
But
fair.
yeah,
Well, anyway, so I decided to use what I knew about the sort of tracers that come with come with someone being affected by the signal, and I followed those.
it says in the incident report that you then got lost at the hospital rather than finding your way to the witnesses' hospital room. As such, you were not present when the confrontation with Strela agents occurred.
that may have been my bad. They were focused on the signal, and I was trying to lead them through focusing more on the rooms and the people. I got a bit jumpy when I heard someone speaking some Russian, took us down the wrong hallway, and never really found our way out.
I see. Scribbles a
Well,
note that you can't make out from your side of the table.
Oh, okay.
So, you may mark 1 insight.
Luckily
Yes.
for both of them, Sylvester was kind enough to give me their gun as they were going off on this wild goose chase. Now I did what we are trained to do in the FBI and what my father taught me, which is just to walk up and ask somebody a question and look like you're supposed to be there. And sure enough, I found exactly what we were looking for. Found our patient, and I was able to get there, double guns ablazing, just in time.
Incident report says that you acquitted yourself quite well in a shootout in a hospital with Strela agents.
Our cover story wasn't even half bad.
So that is 2 hostile agents KIA, 1 disappeared from the scene, injured, not heard from again the duration of this mission.
Perfect. So I mark, is it 12?
You
Insight?
mark 12 insight.
Wow, I have 13. I have so many chromer.
So much.
You keep referencing Cromer. What is
Oh, it's from Deltarune. Sorry.
Okay.
The living embodiment of a spam email demands that you give them your delicious chromer.
Great.
All right. Now we proceed to the next contest. The successfully protect the witness from harm by Strela agents and are able to speak to them. They provide details. They provide you with details of what happened that night, those of which are included in section data redacted of the incident report.
Section beep.
What you learn is that there was one other person present on the night of the signal event. So some details on the autopsy report. The individual who was killed in the signal event was an antiques collector. The witness in the hospital was also present on the night of the signal incident. You learned that there was one other person present who was a private investigator based out of Water Springs, was it?
Yes.
Water Springs.
Yeah. Who was also based out of Water Springs. They've been reported missing for the last, I think I said 5 days, but like they've been said that this all happened 3 days ago. So they've been reported missing. They were reported missing approximately 48 hours ago. Have the address of their office in town.
All right, we head there. We headed there. Ooh.
Yes, we headed there.
Did you bring a non-bloody change of clothes?
Oh, I didn't get a drop on me, babe.
That's actually fascinating.
They were standing far away from me. Blood doesn't travel that far.
Maybe not the blood you've seen.
Shooters like you would make my line of work a lot harder. Glad more people are messy.
I'll take that as a compliment.
You shouldn't.
I just sort of look back at you and go, fucking spoil sport and light a cigarette.
All right. We move to the next contest, which takes place at the apartment of our missing private eye, Kindred Spirit.
He's me, but from Colorado.
Oh. Can you feel the resonant PI forces?
Yes.
Who are you? I'm you, but from Colorado.
Really, I thought the multiverse would be more interesting.
Sorry, now just thinking about Lord of the Rings, where everything is the same, but Pippin and Merry have a sniper rifle.
Good.
Just one gun in all of existence.
And 2 hobbits found it.
Yep.
Good.
Okay. We go now to the next contest. Thinking. The domain of the next contest is noetic vectors.
Ooh.
The name of your enemy, your opponent in this challenge, is SRM cable.
Oh.
Have the epithet associated with it. Think about that for a second.
Spooky.
The epithet associated with it is labyrinthine.
Oh. Okay.
There's 2d10s. This contest will bring you in close contact with an unshielded signal resonant material. There's going to be a wrath die of +8, or a d8 wrath die associated with this. Now I'll make this another d10. So that's 3d10 total. One for the name, one for the epithet, one for the wrath die. And this will be a strife level of +5. You have removed some immediate danger yourselves and the scene is this. You enter the detective's department, the detective's apartment, and the apartment is covered with surveillance photos. You're able to identify any of the people in them, include seen the body or remains of the person who was killed in the signal incident. But the photo provided with the autopsy report matches photos that you see on the wall. Also on the wall are photos of the witness in the hospital. Several photos are from a distance of some of the people that you just killed at the hospital and clashed with Strela agents. You enter the apartment once again. You enter the apartment and again in a night with a clear sky. You hear a thunderclap as though it were not just right above you, but in the apartment with you. Lights like headlight beams pass over a window facing an alleyway where no headlights could reach. And when you open the doors, after entering the apartment, once you open the doors inside, doors that should lead to a bathroom will instead open on a long hotel hallway that could not possibly fit into the small apartment building that you were in. Or into a unfinished basement somewhere with dank air and mold in concrete creases, or onto other rooms, onto a mirrored version of the room you were in, but the surveillance photos on the wall are of 3 of you instead.
Oh.
This is, again, the domain is noetic vectors. So let me assemble the roll. 3d10 plus 5.
Out of character, I just did some quick Googling to double check something, and if this game takes place in, 1966?
68.
68.
68, alright, the Twilight Zone has been running for nearly 10 years.
Well, perfect cultural touchstone. You feel very much someone probably makes a comment the first time you open the door onto a hotel hallway. It says, feels like we're walking into a fucking Twilight Zone episode. That is a 15 is the target number.
I hate that.
15 is pretty brutal.
15's pretty rough. Is there a harm associated with this? I think there is, and it is... This is Alpha Delta. Mark duress to enter the contest.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who is cited in this incident report?
Lords and ladies.
I'm gonna hang out and support.
02468 cited.
Very good. State your name or participate, and the actions taken in the... Well, assemble your dice pool. I'm
Yes.
Hell yeah.
struggling to find a good way to put that.
So that's going to be for lords and ladies. That will be a D6 for their insight, a D6 for their profile. This is what they research. This is the thing they know. When it comes to this, they've been doing this for 2 years. The length of this of the authority. So yeah, noetic vectors is my skill, so I get a D8 for that. I have marked duress. I'm gonna. Hey, Gumshoe, I'd like to invoke a bond.
I can't say no, but I wouldn't if I could.
That's fantastic. So that's going to be a D6 from you as well, I believe.
Yeah, you pull my
Domain.
name. No,
Name?
if you're supporting someone, you give them their
Yes.
domain. If you're
Yes.
calling a bond, you get their name.
Cool.
Yes.
So a D6. And then I will also mark a strength expertise, so I get a D4 from that. So I have assembled my pool of dice.
All right.
All right.
Both of you.
I will.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No worries. I pull my D6 for my name. Do not pull private investigator. I do
No-
pull a D6 for my noetic vectors. I'm going to pull a. I'm going to spend resilience because I feel like there's going to be some nonsense in here that I will have to survive, resist,
You
come
gotta
out
get
sane.
You gotta get at least a 15.
Exactly, which is why I'm also going to the bond that I just got from Sylvester by supporting him last time.
Yes.
I will spend. I figure like, oh, this is his area of expertise. I should listen to what the egghead has to say.
Exactly.
So name, domain, spent a bond, spent a strength. I think that's it.
All right.
And then Silmarian has to give one of us his noetic vectors.
Yeah. So let's see here. I think I am going to give my noetic vectors to Lou. Excuse me, to Sylvester. I think it makes sense to just load that up.
Yeah,
So
you not to like to push back character wise.
yeah,
I mean, like, it's it sounds like I've just been insulting you most of the night. So
yeah. Well, we got to do what we got to do, and when it comes to business, you and I work together pretty well as a team.
fair. All right, cool. So I get another D6.
You do get an RD6.
You guys are doing like effective investigation, and I've got like the noir movie narration going through my head, like headlights from a dark alley. That's probably not right. Like just
It's
pointing
not.
out really obvious things as if I was like
In all
investing.
my years as a PI, I've never seen headlights in a dark alley. Something seems wrong this evening.
Exactly.
All
Those
right.
watching at home, the domain of noetic vectors is labeled as insight into depths of truth unplumbed by the discursive intellect, ability to anticipate and react to the open signal and signal resonant materials.
The spooky shit, the
Yeah.
fun shit.
So,
Uh,
see those rolls.
yeah. Oh, please.
No, not me.
I still got a. Oh my god. What?
Wow.
That was an 11, I believe.
Yeah,
Remembering that right.
that sure is an 11.
Oof.
Hey man, my total roll was an 11.
Yikes a dikes.
Even if we drop one of the twos, it's a 9.
So, lords and ladies and Gumshoe, please describe what actions you took inside the apartment.
Starting from the lowest, that's me.
Yep.
Well, as we said, and you're going in, everything was pretty wrong from the get-go with the lights and the hallway and the geography of it just didn't make much sense. But did what we had to do. We went down the hallway, and without a better lead to follow, and without Sylvester's knowledge of tracking signals, it was a hotel hallway. I went door to door, just started knocking.
Your subscription in the incident report says that description of the incident report says that you became lost in a, it says here, in a Moscow subway station that you stumbled into.
Excuse me, that was room 405. But yes.
405 and a Moscow subway station. You report that you were lost there for approximately 5 minutes, while your compatriots' incident reports indicate that you disappeared for roughly 45 minutes. Any comment on that?
Look, man, I was wearing a watch, and when I came out, it had been 5 minutes. I don't know what's up with them, but
Watch must have been wrong. Come on.
I see. Scribbles down a
I mean
note.
the hallway was wrong, so I'm willing to believe that, but
Scribbles down a note. I see. Lords and ladies, please describe your involvement in the incident.
Well, this is what I study. This is what I know. Was not even the first time that I had been in a fourth dimensional geometrographic space, as we call it in the business.
Gesundheit.
Who asked? That said, they all have their quirks. And I perhaps didn't have the foresight I should have when I decided to try leaving the trail of markings to get to and from places.
Your incident report indicates that the markings had been moved by the time you encountered them, trying to retrace your steps.
At some point, it started to feel a little pointed. Because it was not just that they changed the location, but also the arrows kept pointing down. And at some point, I just felt like it was mocking me. It may have added to future bad decisions.
Would you like me to note in the revised incident report that you felt your breadcrumb trail was making fun of you?
If you must. If anything else, they'll add it to their little booklet of funny things that Sylvester said.
Scribbles a note. So, the labyrinthine nature, the sort of reality folding in on itself of the apartment you have stumbled into, well, the three of you get lost for a bit. But eventually you find...
Okay, sorry, could I make one more note?
Yes.
My brief time in what appeared to be Moscow was actually... Only reason I, got out was I knew how to beg for help because I had heard people begging for help in Russian not 2 hours ago when Saber was killing them.
Jesus.
Nice of them to beg. Shame I don't speak the language.
You're not sure how to describe the sound of an eyebrow being raised, but you're sure that someone on the other side of that table is raising one at you right now. A subtle shift in the shadows, perhaps, followed by click of a pen and a noted. All right, so that is one insight for both of you that participated in the.
Great. I'm really leveling up over here, boys.
God.
I mean,
3 insight.
you also get an insight for supporting, so just an insight for everybody.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, one insight for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get an insight and a bond with the person you supported.
What a country.
What country?
What a
Moving
world.
on.
Moving on to...
Got a thought? Okay. Moving on. You find your way outside of the apartment building, unsure of what to do next. When standing out, where you emerge is in the alley next to this. It's like a little 3-story, lodging building, next to another identical building. The sort of place you would expect to see somewhere on Main Street, USA. Again, a town so generic and all-American, it can't believe it exists.
Yes.
You emerge into the alleyway and are kind of recollecting yourselves when you see spot a cable running under what appears to be a locked door in the side of the building, and the audio clip that you were briefing on the assignment comes to mind. Spools of paper with code and messages next to a dusty telegraph machine. The cable runs out the side of the building and is apparently connected to. And which one of you decides to test the door?
I think I'm stupid enough to face check a door.
Okay, we're not in a contest. I'm just asking for some flavor here, so don't worry too much about that. But you Saber, you open the door, and the on the inside is a hallway in whatever agency you work for. Except the place is as you remember it. It's almost as though you walked in on a workday, but as though you walked in at 6 a.m. The place is fully lit, doors are open, but there is no one to be seen. You walk down. Well, because you tell me, how do you react to this?
I find it just like deeply uncanny. I walk in, and the first thing I do is I go to my desk. I check the drawers, and I check what's left there. I check to see if the note I left for myself the day that I left the FBI office is still there.
Um, Sorry, if the what that you left the day you left the FBI office was
The
still there?
note.
The
Sorry. Yeah,
note.
I wrote a note to myself, and I meant to take it home with me, but I left it there.
The note is still there, and it is, when you pick it up and read it, the header on it reads, um, practical applications and dangers of research noetic vectors, a memo by Sylvester Tennyson. Lords and ladies, what does the rest of the note talk about?
Uh, the can you give me the title again? I'm sorry.
Practical applications and dangers of research noetic vectors.
Yes. Um. Yes, that one. That one. That was wonderful. That's where I proposed and we cut, and there's like a diagram on the note of what looks to be. It looks like it's like a nice mid-century alarm clock, right? Um, two little bells on top, a little windy bit, and the text on it describes the use the application of signal resonance for short term time dilation.
Oh,
Was this memo well received, or did this get you flagged?
Upper management. Uh, it was one of the situations where I got a finger wag of like, do not, do not write this sort of thing again. But since you have already,
See,
uh, the the interview chamber. I had the fear of God or lack thereof put into me at that point, and believe you me, I have not written more on it.
I see.
You should not believe you or me on that.
Gumshoe the Instant. Go ahead.
he was finishing up a manuscript in the car over.
Gumshoe, you indicated in your write-up that there was a clue on Saber's desk that told you exactly where to go to find SRM cable. What was? Would you like to elaborate on that?
I would love to. Just gotta remember what it was.
I remember
So
it like
yeah,
it was.
yeah. Out of clue, out of character. What clue told you exactly which door to go through next?
Yeah, out of character, I'm just trying to come up with something. In character, Signal messes with memory, so I have an excuse of why this is taking time.
That's fair. And if you don't have one, we can if you are struggling to come up with one, we can just skip over it. It's just flavor at this point.
Man, I usually like to come up with stuff, but I've got nothing in my head, unfortunately.
That's okay. In that case,
I mean,
In that case, we'll
I'll just say in character, like, yeah, there was something, but you know how Signal gets.
I'd love to. Long, pregnant pause.
Yeah.
If I had one.
Well, nevertheless, incident report indicates that Agent Gumshoe, you were suddenly seized with absolute knowledge of where to proceed next, and upon opening a door, you noticed that the cable from outside was in fact running by your feet. There is no interstitial text on how long inside this space or what happened next, only that you opened a door and found missing Private Eye 1 Tech PI Wayne Rackham seated in the same room as the living room of their apartment that you had entered earlier, same orientation, where all the photos on the wall had been replaced with photos of the three of you. Do I have that correct?
Hate to admit it, but yes.
Yeah, I look at each of them to make sure neither of them are gonna say no, because I'm still not 100% sure, and then go, yeah, yes.
God.
And this is the location where you found our detective seated on a chair. The description they gave of the room was that the room contained photos on the wall. Detective PI Wayne Rackham seated in an easy chair in the center of the room, with a end table next to him, on which was set a presumably loaded Smith & Wesson revolver, SRM cable, and on the floor in front of the chair, or on the floor in front of PI Rackham, was a dead Strela agent, dead from observation, died of a gunshot wound. An individual interviews the three of you struggled to remember exactly what PI Rackham said, but were able to piece together some text about navigating the maze of doors, a thread leading to the truth, winding staircases within staircases, ticker tape from here to eternity. Do I have that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, there might be a few more ands and buts than you put in there, but overall,
That's what I remember of Mr. Rackham.
That Mr. Rackham did not acknowledge your entry, but was engrossed in reading the ticker tape being printed off steadily by SRM cable.
It didn't even say anything. That's what stays with me the most. You looked at it, and it was like the moment you looked at it, it was like you couldn't. It was like no matter how hard you tried, your pupils just wouldn't land on it.
Agent Saber, I appreciate your candor, but I would remind you not to discuss, whether openly or through omission, the text printed or lack thereof by SRM cable. Please do not.
Right.
Please do not make mention of contents of SRM cable's ticker tape within the walls of this building.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry.
The shoulders of the suit on the opposite side of the table relax slightly. As for what happened next, we're going to conclude this with a battle.
Let's go,
The
baby.
3 stages of a battle are clash, threat, and finale. So we begin with clash, and I am going to read a lot of this both for everyone's edification and so I know what the fuck I'm doing.
sure.
Important.
Yes. This is the finale of an island in Aegon, or of a mission in Chamber. So, Strife player describes it, or the Ops player describes the circumstances of the battle and any details that might be used to gain an advantage. The hero players declare how their agents are joining the battle, what maneuvers they attempt to gain an edge against the opponent before battle is joined. Clash contest is rolled. Unlike a normal contest, each hero player may choose the domain they roll or the clash based on the action their hero is taking to seize an advantage. The winner of the Clash contest, let me switch over to the book here, either the ops player or the best agent, earns a 1d10 advantage die for any roll in the battle. It may be given to another agent in exchange for a bond. Agents earn insight as normal in this contest, yada yada yada. So this is a clash. The domain of this clash, I believe this is just a
Well,
clash.
no, we get to choose our own domain for the clash.
You do. I'm going to speak one out just for the sake of it. But yes, you choose your own domain. The threat's domain is going to be human factors, because you have now found your way to the center of this maze that SRM Cable has made. The only thing standing between you and SRM Cable is P.I. Rackham, whose intentions are unknown. So,
Right.
your opponent is, I'm going to say on the incident report, this is listed as P.I. Rackham / SRM Cable, open parentheses, question mark, close parentheses.
There really wasn't any way to be sure.
The epithet is going to be unknowable.
Let's see about that.
This is going to be a strife level of no bonus dice, I'm gonna say. Or no, I'm gonna say 2d10, one for name, one for epithet, and a d6 advantage die because P.I. Rackham is reading the path through maze of world, stairs within stairs. And then a strife level of 5, so that is 2d10, 1 plus. Highest result is a 4, so the target is a 9.
Hey, maybe this time it will actually happen.
Yeah.
It's doable.
Who was cited in the report for this incident? I believe you all participate.
Yes.
Yes, you
Oh
must.
yeah,
have
we're
been.
all cited.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
I just hang out in the corner, actually.
I would kick you out of your chair,
Yeah.
blade or whatever you named yourself,
And I would deserve it.
butter knife.
We finally found it, and I really decided it was time for a smoke break, you know? Something
Oh
like that.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I like this image of lords and ladies referring to Saber as a different bladed implement every time they address them.
God, yeah.
Fucking okay, halberd.
the fucking Zweihander over here.
All right, epee. Jesus.
All
So
right.
anyway, dice pool.
Yes.
I, as lords and ladies, am going to take a d6 for my insight, a d6 for my profile, a d8 for noetic vectors, because I'm picking that as my domain.
Mhm.
I will take a der. Yeah. Yeah. Will I do that? Sure. Yeah, I'll take a duress. I'll take a duress to get a d6 from my other domains. So I'll be rolling 3 d6s and a d8.
Very good.
All right.
Who is next?
Yeah.
I'll go next. So all right. So my I don't think federal agent quite applies here, unfortunately, but I will take a d6 for my name. Oh, I have to clear my dice. D6, yeah, unfortunately not. Uh, can I apply applied dynamics here? Am I gonna have to spend duress for that?
I mean, you get to
I didn't
choose
put a heart
domain.
in this. Yeah.
I get to choose a domain. Yes, I do.
Yes.
All right, apply dynamics. It is. I'm fighting. Let's see here. I am going to take a duress to add human factors. If the fighting fails, I'll try to get him to calm down, I guess. And I will add my I will invoke my resilience strength to add a d4.
Hey, hold on. Did you invoke 2 domains?
I did. I spent a duress for it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I did
Thank
the
you.
same.
I
Yep,
forgot
so
about that. Thank you.
I think we got 2d6s, a d8, and a d4 besides. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I think I said my other domain, but I invoked both noetic factors and human factors.
All right. Also, out of curiosity, what duress is everyone at?
3.
4.
Okay.
1.
Exciting.
But like we
Speaking of
clear
which.
all that in between missions, so like whatever,
Yeah.
go big or go home at this point.
Yeah, no. I mean, also we're doing a one shot, so there's not really much continuity here.
If you go above, then you start to get burnout. But yeah, the duress meter itself, it's just permission, which is why
Right.
I'm going up to
Exactly.
2 right now.
Burning out though is, I mean, you level up as you burn out. So so it's strictly a good thing to push yourself in missions.
Yeah,
Until you die.
Right.
Well, yeah, you know.
Speaking of which, as a
I mean-
reminder, in case anyone is really feeling that, you may choose to die to prevail in a contest, regardless of your role.
Fuck yeah.
Which I love because we're all talking here in the debrief, but one of us did die.
Yeah.
we cut away, and one of us has just been on a screen somehow. A different SRM is being used to talk to us. Anyway,
God. All right.
I roll a
Gumshoe.
d6 because of my name. I'm gonna do human factors as my normal role, and it's me trying to like piece together what because Rackham was also an investigator, so I'm trying to figure out what he figured out before he got caught up in reading the ticker tape.
so you're invoking your profile.
No, that's my human factors. I'm just justifying why I'm using human factors.
Yeah, but it sounds like by using human factors, you're invoking the fact that you are also a private eye.
Oh, that's true.
To another eye.
No, you're right. Because I had thought about it, and I thought like, I'm still investigating something weird, but I'm specifically investigating another private investigator.
Who
So
investigates the investigator? This guy right
Exactly.
here.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it is another private investigator lets me justify it in my head. I marked duress to also use noetic vectors because we're in the middle of the Labyrinth Hotel, and that just seems to make sense.
The Labyrinth Hotel Bar and Grill.
And I will not spend one of my strengths.
All right. Shall we all roll then?
Please do.
Yeah.
3,
I'd like to roll first.
a 2,
Oh yeah.
a 1, a go. What in the
Right.
what in the fuck? What in the entire? I rolled under. I rolled. I mean,
It's fucked up.
Oh my god.
admittedly, I can't take stress here. This is just to get an advantage die. That being said, I think one of you did better than the opponents who were fine.
Yeah, I got a 10. What did you get?
I got a 13. Jesus.
I got an 8.
Actually,
That
two.
matters because
The two of you succeeded.
only the best one of gets the advantage die for the final flash, though.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this was just about like getting an advantage. So one of us got an advantage at least. I guess you did it by punching them a lot.
I used the power of gun.
I'm gonna defeat you with the power of friendship and this gun I found.
All right. So please state your actions during this incident.
All right.
I guess I go
Lois
first because I was
yes.
slowest. Oh. You know, I'm not a fighter, and what's more, I wanted to look at the ticker tape. and Lords and Ladies trails off at that point.
SRM cable. The case file does note that SRM cable has been known to emit knock sounds, thunderous noise, light beams, and flashes. And we will not discuss the contents of the ticker tape, only that proximity to the tape rendered you temporarily blind due to bright light.
We'll go with that, but I can't discuss the contents of the ticker tape, so... And Lords and Ladies just smiles.
Out of character, I am absolutely imagining that it's like basically you looked at the tape and were stricken blind.
Oh no, I know. My brain was that like stricken blind, but still somehow like getting a perception, like something from it,
Mm-hmm.
seeing
Ooh,
without
yes,
sight.
yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So like it did strike me blind, but I can't talk about the content of the tape at the same time.
Very, very good. Who would
Yes.
like to recite next?
I think that would
think I'm next.
yes.
Well, I managed to stop myself before I followed through on Rackham's final step of looking at the cable, but like I said, I did my best to piece together what he did when he got into this room. I checked out the drawers, cabinets. I saw that he had looked at all the photos, but no guarantee that the photos in there were the same. The photos on the wall were the same as the photos we were seeing, but he was definitely trying to piece some stuff together, and I followed his trail through the room.
And where did that trail lead you?
Well, like I said, it led him to staring at the SRM, which I did not do. But something in the room is formed around that thing. It all points to that, which I guess probably didn't need me to tell you, but confirmed it.
I see. And Agent Saber.
Well, as the only one on our team with any sense, I did what you have to do in a situation like this sometimes. I walked up to our detective and slapped him right across the face. And that seemed to work pretty well, didn't it?
Report indicates that P.I. Rackham was unresponsive to the contact, but that you did note that photos on the wall of yourself became torn or damaged after the slap. You, however, remained unharmed.
Easy. No
Yep.
repercussions.
Your note from the individual interviews that you had gotten the attention of whatever was in that room.
No repercussions.
Hey, we're still here. We did what we had to do.
Interesting. All right, so insight is earned as usual. So,
I
lords
get
and
one.
ladies, one insight. Gumshoe, take. Let's see. Let's round up. So 4 insight because you get half of the target number in insight. The target number, as a reminder, was 9, so we're gonna say round up because rounding up is fun.
Wouldn't round up be 5?
Yes, so
It would be.
you get 5, and Saber, you get 9 insight.
Oh boy.
Also, technically, the rule is you round up
Nice.
Okay.
in Aegon.
Yeah, I didn't see that under rewards specifically unless I'm staring at it and just not seeing it, but that was my assumption.
It's there. It's the 4th line.
Yep. Half the amount round up.
Oh, yep.
Either-
I was staring
either
right
way.
at it and didn't see it. Like I
The
said, all right.
parentheses, you went around the parentheses. I do it all the time.
Yeah, weird how your eyes just kind of slide over it like that. Anyways. We now go to the threat phase.
Oh.
During the threat phase, the agents and the opponent collide. The opponent lashes out, menacing the world, while the heroes stand in defense or strive to take control. There are 2 contests during the threat phase, and each hero may only participate in one or the other. First, the ops player announces the disasters that will happen unless an agent thwarts them. The opponent will usually make 2 or 3 disastrous moves. I've got a couple in mind. Then each agent chooses whether their hero will participate in the contest to defend against the disasters or join the contest to seize control of the battle and set the domain and stakes of the finale. Start with the contest to defend, to follow the normal contest procedure, but allow each agent to roll the domain most appropriate to the disaster they're opposing. They don't all have to roll the same one. So...
Hey, actually, before we start this, can you give me
Yes.
just a minute to go to the bathroom? I'll be right back.
Sure, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Before we proceed to the threat phase, let's take another, 2-minute bio break.
All right, it's time.
It's time.
And we're back.
Yeah.
So, we now
Threat.
enter the threat phase. And we are going to do the defensive contest first. So, start with the contest to defend, yada yada yada. But allow each hero who prevails may stop one disaster from happening. Any remaining disasters come to pass. Then resolve the contest to seize control of the battle. Follow the normal contest procedure. If the heroes win, they decide what's at stake for the opponent in the finale. They may choose death, imprisonment, exile, a change of heart, eternal grief, and torment. Anything that suits the battle ends within their ability to impose. In addition, the winner of the seize contest determines the domain of the finale contest. If the opponent wins the contest to seize control, they get to determine their own fate in the finale. They may avoid the full consequences of the battle even if they lose. So, first we do the defend contest. I'm going to say there are 2 disasters associated with this. There are 2 disasters here. I think one is that there is abruptly, where there were photos behind P.I. Rackham on the wall, there is now a map. You look at it, and Water Spring, it is a map of the area, kind of the county that Water Springs lies in. Blink again, and Water Springs is no longer on the map.
As if it was too American to be real.
Wild, isn't it?
Hmm.
The second disaster that occurs is that a door on one side of the room, off to the side of P.I. Rackham. Don't know if the door was there before or not, but it opens. And it opens into like a doorway leading out of a building into what looks like an army base in a jungle. There is fire somewhere in the trees. They're shouting and distant gunfire. The occasional tracer rounds fly overhead. And standing right, soldiers are like running past the doorway as though they're running past, any other building. But standing in the middle of the doorway, or actually when the doorway opens, there's someone standing directly in front of it. Wearing a flak jacket, but much more civilian-looking garb. As the door opens, they turn and look inward and look through the door. You can't see their entire face, but you see just enough to see them break into a uncomfortably toothy grin. This is notable. What's notable that happens in the room is P.I. Rackham looks up from the ticker tape and meets their eyes and says, "There, I brought it." So these are your 2 disasters. Who is cited in the defend contest?
I am.
Agent Saber.
Lords and ladies.
Lords and ladies.
Well, then I guess I will stay back for the C's.
Alright, Saber
Oh,
and...
wait. Can we only be cited in one of these?
Yes.
Yeah, you defend.
We need
or
to choose
seize.
now. I'm gonna
Oh,
choose.
shit.
So
Okay.
so I'm going with defend because what I feel like is I can use my noetic vectors and whatnot to get that map thing sorted out. Maybe.
Yeah, you know
It
what?
feels
I will
most like for that, so I'm gonna go with defend.
stay back and support you for that. That makes a lot more sense.
No, do not wait. Hold on. Are
don't-
you support?
Yeah, I don't know if
supporting
support
here.
applies here because you are both going to be in a contest.
Oh shit. Okay.
If we
fuck.
both do defend and we both succeed, we get rid of both disasters.
Yes.
Only,
Okay.
if
great.
only if there's only one success, one disaster happens, the other one does not.
Perfect.
um,
Perfect. Okay, I'm
and
on
then
the same
anyone-
wavelength now.
Okay, so are you going to defend with me, or are you going to do 2
Yeah.
into C's?
Yeah, no, I'm going to defend with you, and I'm going to attempt to make. I'm going to attempt to
Well-
make forceful action against this new
Yeah.
person who's entered.
Cool. That's
And then I will not roll defend, and I will stick around for the C's phase.
Perfect.
Very good. Alright.
Again.
The threat that you face is once again P.I. Rackham / SRM Cable.
Yes.
The epithet is The epithet for this pair for this one is what is it? I was gonna say spiraling because that sounds wild and woolly. That's 2d10. Don't suppose there's much point in... I'm gonna say there is threat Omega Delta here, just for funsies. Actually, no. Omega Sierra. Expend a strength mark if you suffer in the contest.
Okay.
Great. And if you don't have a strength mark, you suffer duress/burnout, I believe.
I believe that's correct. And still produces an interesting result.
Yes.
So just succeed, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do well.
I am invested in your character succeeding at something before the session
I
ends.
know, Jesus.
Gotta see it happen.
It's no one knows why they keep making old lords and ladies go out in the field. He's much better back at he's good doing solo research in quiet spaces. Anyway, sorry,
All right.
DM. Do you have more to add to your roll before you roll it?
Yeah, so that is 2d10 for name and epithet. I am going to say that there is a... Strife level is +5. I think we're still baseline here. You had 2 successes during the last contest, or during the opening phase of this, so I think that baseline.
Nice. Oh boy.
And I'm going to say the addition of question mark to this produces a d10 advantage die. So that is 3d10 plus 5. So, threat roll. Oh, that is a 15 target number.
Okay. The maximum possible outcome.
I don't like that you've been rolling well. You know, just from my perspective, for me, though,
I have some complicated feelings about that myself.
it's fine. All right. So, and this is just for the defend thing, right? Like,
Yes.
great. Okay. Well, yeah, sure. So lords and ladies, we do a D6 for insight, a D6 for profile, a D8 because I'm going to be using noetic vectors, a D4 because I'm using my last strength, and a D6 because I'm using my last bond. And I'm taking the name die from, I suppose, Saber. So
Yeah.
that's my dice pool.
Just for the roleplay in my head, what strength did you mark?
Resilience. Because I'm gonna try to make this map not disappear an entire town.
You're gonna think about this town so hard that it cannot be wiped from the map.
Yes, and we'll see how good I am at that.
Fuck yeah.
Don't say
All
that
right.
just yet.
All right. For my defense, I will add my name die. I am a federal agent. I don't think that really applies here, so I don't think I get a D6. Unfortunately, for my role.
There was an army base on the other side of that door. I don't know.
Is there an army base on the other side? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
To be clear, what I was going for is that door has opened into like a fire base in Vietnam.
Yes.
Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna add a D6 there. It's a government operation. I'm putting in a D6. Let's see. I'm going to spend a duress. I'm going to take a duress to add human factors to this. I think maybe I can identify what this what this person's tactic is going to be, because I have worked with these types. And I'm going to expend a strength, bravery, to get a D4 here, to try not to fuck anything up.
All right.
You also just flat out get a D10 advantage die because of the success in the clash.
Yes, I do. Yes,
You-
love that for me.
You may
I'm-
use that once at any point during the battle, but only once. And there is still the finale phase.
Yep, any role in the battle.
Boy, this is a 15. Man, that's such a high DC.
That's true.
Yeah, but I've added so many dice.
Remember, you only get to keep 2. And right
Can-
now, what you would have to do is roll an 8, a 6, and a 3 on your D4.
Yeah, okay, D10 gets in there. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad we had this talk.
Can he only use it once?
The D10, yes.
Whenever the Clash contest earns a
Oh.
D10 advantage die for any roll in the battle, it may be it says
Oh.
any roll.
I
Oh, yeah,
assume
here
he
we
could
go,
use
Clash.
it for both rolls.
The winner earns a
Okay.
D10 advantage die, which they may use once during the battle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. I'm using it
Oh,
now.
perfect.
Now, better now than never. I would like to invoke my bond with Copper. To see if we can get
Gumshoe?
through this together. Gumshoe, yes, thank you,
Yes.
Jesus.
Cool.
So pull another D6 over.
All right, I got my roll. I got 4d6 plus a d8 plus a d10 plus a d4.
All right,
This isn't well for me. All right, let's do this.
give those
All
rolls.
right, 3,
I'm
2.
just rolling. Nope.
Okay, great.
Ah, there we go. Nope.
Oh man, I don't think I
14.
did. I didn't do well either.
14.
Fuck, man.
Ooh,
All right. 13.
I'm so frustrated.
Yeah. God.
I am extremely sorry.
You rolled a 15. You rolled a 10. I have not. Woo!
I know I
Okay.
rolled 3d10, but I didn't expect to get another 10.
Oh my gosh.
This shit's wild. Maybe I should have made that a d6. Who knows? Okay. Well, both of you describe your actions.
Starts with you, Saber.
All right, yeah, it does. So I attempt to tackle the wide-eyed, sharp-teethed soldier who entered the room.
They didn't
I
enter
believe
the room.
that
They're standing
he
on the.
represented.
They didn't enter the room. They're standing on the other side of the door.
I attempt to push him back through. I believed that he represented a substantial threat to the members of the room, sir.
Report notes that before you could reach the door, it slammed shut, and then when you looked down on the ground, the cable from SRM came out running underneath the new door that had appeared in the room.
Yes, sir, that is the case. When I tried to open the door again, I was unable to do so, sir.
Scribble note. And the agent, lords and ladies.
Yes, well, one would think that trying to hold an entire town's existence in one's mind would be a simple task. And so I tried to. For what else would I read from Water Springs, Colorado, disappearing off the map, but that it was going to disappear entirely in some way, shape, or form. And for flavor, when lords and ladies said Water Springs that time, it was a little bit garbled. For
These-
everyone.
The suit on the other side of the table says, yes, we have. Make a note that you do continue to insist that that on your mission you were sent to a town in Colorado. There is in fact a truck stop listed at the location that you sent, but no town nor has there been. We will your handler will address this later.
Of course.
So that is still one insight for both of you.
Ooh, 5 insight.
They won't
Work
ask
your way up, baby.
And don't we also take duress for failing that?
Yeah, we
That's
do.
true.
Yeah.
You do. You
Or
each-
well, we take we
you
lose
expend a strength or take duress if you have expended all your strength.
Yeah,
That's
that pops
correct.
me up to 5 duress, which knocks me to 1 burnout, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think it's
True.
your six. I think it's like your sixth one becomes your first burnout.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh yeah, probably is when you like Blades in the Dark type stuff where you have to roll over. Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah, I think the way Aegon describes it is like when you mark your sixth pathos, mark your first agony. And instead on chamber they just went you have 5 duress and then you have burnout because your first burnout's going to be your 6 duress.
Makes sense.
Right. Also, it's a John Harper game, and John Harper likes tallies that roll over.
Yes.
Loves them.
Or at least liked him in Blades in the Dark. Had several of them in that game. A lot of them in that game. Many tallies in that game. Anyways, we go now to the
seas.
Yes, the contest to seeds.
Oh no,
So,
please roll.
Let's go, baby. One time, baby.
Gumshoe,
didn't even
you
pass
are
the one
cited
with
in
a 9.
this.
God.
Yeah, seas nuts.
So-
Sorry.
Hello.
I'm going to say that the threat stays the same. Well, the 2d10 for name and epithet stay the same. For the sake of keeping it on balance, I'm going to say there's also a d10 for an unknown interfering factor, who has either given their blessing or to whom P.I. Rackham has given something from this SRM. So, the roll. It's also a still +5, so it's 10 total is the target number. Nope, 11 total
11.
is the target number.
I'm capable of rolling an 11.
Oh, baby.
I finally rolled a 14, you know?
So D6 for my name. Let me read seizing rules real quick, sorry.
I believe it's basically just a standard contest.
Okay, I get
Yeah, I think it's
the
just
end
a standard
result is
contest.
I get to say what's at stake. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing, like roleplay wise, because
Sure.
I feel like taking control of the situation would involve stuff like closing that door, but that's a separate thing. So without something else to go by, I'm going to use human factors because it's my best die.
All right.
Alright.
I'm probably not going to pull private investigator because, like I said, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. But I am going to spend my intuition in order to figure out what I'm doing, and also get a D4. And then I'm going to spend a bond with Saber, mostly because I've already spent one with Sylvester, and also Saber pulled a bond from me, so we can just say like we were helping each other.
Totally fair.
Two-way.
Friends.
We were holding hands while we were doing our respective tasks.
Exactly. To make sure we both, if you suddenly weren't holding someone's hand, you know that they disappeared. Name, domain, strength, assistance. I'm gonna add a duress and just roll another d6 into this. Probably noetic vectors again because this is weird.
Yeah, makes sense.
We did it.
Wow.
We rolled way too much.
God,
We
rolled
rolled 15.
over an 11.
16. Damn it. I should have done a defense.
one of us won a die roll.
Yeah.
No, but it's like I could have beaten the 15 that you guys had.
No, I know. I'm okay with how we did it, but like,
Yeah.
Alright, so Agent Gumshoe, describe what action you took to seize control of the situation.
It took a bit of figuring things out from the photos and Saber's disappearance from the photos and the door and the map, but it's just like everything in the room was formed around Cable, sir. I could tell that the map and the door to Nam were also formed around Cable and answering to Cable, and I think Rackham was answering to them, and I did my best to separate Cable from those things so that it could call upon them, as it were. I didn't touch the device, but I touched the end table it was on. I pulled it away. Sir.
An interesting initiative. So, you were successful in this contest. Decide the fate of both PI once the battle is concluded. Decide what's at stake for the opponent in the finale. If you win the finale, what happens?
Are we the kind of group that wants to take Cable in or set it on fire?
Well, lords and ladies would want that thing to research, but I might be outvoted.
Do you have an opinion, Saber?
I think that lords and ladies would actually kill me if I did anything other than the exact text of my job.
It's fair. I'm also leaning towards take it in because I want to know what the hell happened to me here. So, all right, yeah, we're gonna take it in, and we're gonna try and, or at least I am going to try and get Rackham out of here when we escape. Preferably to a hospital, but out just in general. And preferably to a hospital that's not in this town, assuming this town exists, which it doesn't.
I may actually retcon that a little bit depending on the finale. We'll see when we get there.
Yeah. Well,
It might just be called something else. Who knows?
Yeah.
during the finale, I still think it exists. During the debrief, we'll see what we actually say. Okay, yeah. So I wanna somehow get Cable into containment and get Rackham out of here. Is my final answer.
Right.
Okay, so Rackham will be in protective medical care, and SRM Cable will be contained in a black box.
If we succeed.
If you succeed. So, we go on to the finale. The winner of this contest is the winner in the battle. Those defeated, you are triumphant. So, we resolve the finale using normal contest procedure.
All right. All right. We're all in it, right?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Part of me is considering like dropping back to support someone else with more dice, but I think just rolling all of my own, like everyone rolling their whole die pool, is probably
Yeah.
That's
more
probably
effective.
our best bet.
And this will be a contest with a specific, standard contest with a specific domain. So,
Fuck.
the threat in the final contest is just PI Rackham. PI Rackham finally takes their eyes off the ticker for takes their eyes off the ticker for the second time, and meets one of the gaze of, and says, "Money was good. I didn't know what he was asking me to look for. If I'd known how far I'd see when I found it. None of this had to happen." The final domain for the final contest will be human factors.
Woo!
All right.
Um,
Let's go, baby.
the name is P.I. Rackham. The epithet is God, there's a specific word I'm trying to think of, and it's not coming to me. The epithet is regretful.
Hey,
And the sorry, my phone buzzed again. I glanced on it, and that Google alert that just says removal is back.
No, the
It
removal
does.
alert.
not removal.
Removal. And weird. Oh.
It's time.
Yeah, signal's hitting my phone pretty hard. Um. Yeah, so that's 1d10 for name, 1d10 for epithet. And I'm just gonna say this is a d6 advantage die for for lords and ladies in saber failing to succeed in the defense contest.
Great.
Yep.
And then that's just going to be, I'm going to say a +4 because you succeeded in the C's contest. So this will be 2d10, 6, and a +4.
Could be worse. Okay.
Well, the
Shouldn't have
result
said
is a
anything.
14.
I'm
Could be better.
sorry. That was my fault.
All right, so everyone participating.
Right. 14.
Man,
I have a question.
Yes.
It's very important for what I'm about to do. When I mark a burnout that gets me a boon, I get it immediately.
Double check that.
I'm looking.
Ooh.
It says when you earn a boon, mark one of the boxes on your hero sheet and permanently gain that benefit.
Sorry, which page is this on?
49 in Aegon.
Oh, it's way ahead of that. All right, 9. Second headset's beeping at me. It's low on battery. Plug that in. Enter
I don't
agony.
see
Mark fate.
I don't see anything in the section about like between sessions that specifies like now is when you would gain boons. Which would make me think you would gain it
Yeah,
during.
you just gain it now. Yeah.
Agony.
Cool.
Fate.
And good.
Sorry, the path here is. Where does it say that you earn a boon from entering agony?
Because there are benchmarks. So on the chamber sheet, there are a certain number
Right.
of marks on burnout that have a little black mark in it.
Right.
And that's the first one.
Oh,
is
and
one
when you
point.
mark that, you earn a boon.
And when you mark one of those, you earn a boon.
I think you get it now.
Fantastic. I love that. Thank you. Like it does not seem to say later, so I'm going to say now.
Yeah, I think it's also just interesting if we do it now. So yeah, go ahead.
Great.
Take that.
Cool. So, Lords and Ladies' pool is going to be first 2d6s for insight. That's the word I was looking for. And profile. You said this was human factors.
Yes.
All right. So another d6 for that. I'm then going to spend a pathos or a duress, which gives me my first burnout, to get another d6. Because I'm going. Hold on. No, wait. What am I talking about? It gets me a different domain. That's what it is, right? Yes. So I'm going to choose noetic vectors, and I'm also going to upgrade noetic vectors to a D10.
Yeah.
All right.
Smart.
Go.
So I'll add a D10 to that, and I have no bonds, and I have no strengths, so that's all I can do. But that's my dice pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's next?
Copper.
I'll take it. Clear my die pool. All right. I had a D6 for insight. I'm still not gonna add private investigator here, but I am going to add human factors. I'm going to keep doing the thing. I'm gonna add duress and add noetic vectors because it just keeps on making sense. And I'm going to spend force for a D4. to resist the sheer power of this man's eye contact, and then I am going to spend a bond to pull in Sylvester again for another d6. All right, die pool ready.
Okay. All right. So D6 for my name. Yeah. D6 for human factors. I'm also going to take a duress, which puts me to a burnout. And I'm gonna take the same advanced D8 domain to D10, and add applied dynamics to the roll.
Hell yeah. Welcome.
So, yeah, good to be. It couldn't come at a better time. I'm gonna get some assistance from Gumshoe. And remind me how the insight points we've been collecting here work.
They would just level us up later.
They just level us up later.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it. Okay.
Yeah, I think the first level for that would be a 40. So.
So I think, yep, this is it. Yep, we just got to make it happen.
All right.
Okay.
We ready to try
Swim
to
on.
get what are we aiming for again? A 14?
14.
Target is a
14.
14.
Fucking
boy.
14. Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's go.
I got a
No chance.
I got a 10.
Wow.
I got a fucking 14, baby.
Let's go. Oh. All right.
Got there.
That is
Let's see, hold on.
14 insight points.
God damn it.
Because you rolled a 7 and 5. You just 5 days. You rolled. Yep. You rolled on a 14.
Exactly there.
God damn it.
All right. Well, start with Saber. Saber, how did you approach this final challenge?
Well, I tried to. Sir, I'm embarrassed to say it, but I couldn't move, sir. I don't know if it was. I don't know, sir. I might have been in shock. I might have been out of my depth. But I just wasn't thinking of anything, sir. I just stood there and stared him in the eye and tried to say I wasn't afraid. Look how that worked out, huh?
Pen click. Scribble, scribble. Agent, lords, and ladies.
Well, what can I say? I'm no fighter. I'm no subduer. So I did the only thing I thought would be good. If we were trying to contain Cable, I attempted to contain Cable.
I see. And I presume that the injuries, flash burns you suffered and recovered from after the mission were the results of that containment effort. The physical containment you your own self.
I didn't say it was my most elegant solution, sir and or madam, but it was a solution.
The shadow of the head on the other side of the table nods and says, "Your initiative is to be appreciated. The attempt was not successful." Quite literally throw themselves at a SRM in an effort to. Agent Gumshoe.
I had Sylvester assist me, right? So I'll say, well, actually, his attempt sparked an idea for me, which is I felt that thing even when I was moving the table under it, and lords and ladies here seem to react negatively to coming into contact with it, but don't know how long Rackham had been there, but he looked fine. Something about his he got used to it in a way. So I managed to talk to him and talk him down from whatever he was thinking. I'm still not sure. And we got him to contain it for us. He seemed like he could grab it without burning, and then we got him out of there. He had it. I don't know where you took him or what the SRM is now, but it seemed to work out.
Here's in your individual interview, you have been able to recall exactly what you had said to P.I. Rackham as replicate whatever words you spoke to him in that room may have assisted with the patient process that he is currently under. Less. You said seems to have pointed out seems to have worked.
It's good, because I have, at this point, no recollection.
All right. Thus concludes the final battle. So, we now conclude the mission. So, because you seize, because you won the seize battle and you won the finale, you made a called shot on the fate of P.I. Rackham and SRM Cable, and that was that Cable is brought into chamber possession, and that P.I. Rackham is brought into protective custody. Protective custody for some reason, but brought into taken into care of the agency.
Certainly
Observation.
custody.
Yeah. So, we were successful. So, I believe now we move to the, what in Aegon would be the Exodus phase. Leaving the island, or in this case, departing the mission. So we, has 4 phases. I'm gonna say we end with the Exodus phase rather than the Voyage, because Voyage is kind of the level up and intermission phase. But so, Exodus has 4 parts: Destiny of the Island, Great Deeds, Virtues, and Reflection. So we carry this out in the room. The suit sitting across from you flips their dossier closed and says, well, it goes without saying that the 3 of you performed rather admirably under the conditions. The fact that you were able to secure SRM Cable long enough for a backup team to arrive and contain it in a black box is admirable in and of itself. I've noted in the dossier that there were inquiries made about what happened to SRM Cable after it was brought into containment. I ask you, 3 of you, to not participate in any of the speculation. To not participate in speculation and deny any of the rumors going around that after being brought into after being contained in a black box and brought into custody, that SRM Cable was then handed off to another government agency. Such speculation is counterproductive and, frankly, below your pay grade. As for Water Springs, Colorado, we have made a surveyor sent to the town afterwards did note, in fact, that the town appears to show signs of having been abandoned for the better part of 3 decades. As for what to do with the numerous missing persons reports that have been filed regarding the residents of the town up to the present day, we are currently looking into what we can do to locate these people, get some of the pain and uncertainty on their families. The fact that several of them have already been found is heartening, to say the least.
I got a subway in Moscow you could check.
Not bad. Let's see. So, next part, great deeds. Each hero records a great deed for which their hero will be remembered, or a trophy they seize in the adventure.
Okay.
You have any closing? The three of you have any closing thoughts on the anything you would like to highlight? You like highlighted in the report? Any trophies that we should be aware of that you might have taken?
Man, we're barely the heroes of that encounter. I mean, we were hardly able to save lives, and we lost an entire town, and
Oh,
that was brutal.
actually, and um, Lords and Ladies reaches into his breast pocket of the coat he's wearing and pulls out a little flip lighter that says Water Springs General Hospital. I got this. They have a
Doesn't it?
gift shop.
That's very good. So as a note, if we were playing a longer game, this would be a section where you would record heroic deeds
Yes.
that you did or trophies that you took, which could then be used as advantages down the road. So
Hmm.
when stating your great deed, think of it like that. So Lords and Ladies has a mysterious lighter.
Yeah, from a town that shouldn't have been populated.
Hmm.
But it's nice. It's hand painted, you know. It's one of those nice wide Zippo lighter types. Lights another cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
I took a miniature sidearm from one of the Russian agents that I killed. This thing is small enough to fit in my pocket. It has a chamber for one bullet, but I suspect there's something special about it.
Hmm. Fascinating.
Tiny little Derringer ass motherfucker.
I didn't take anything physical, but as you had mentioned, neither of us are quite sure what I said to Rackham, but it's good to know that somehow I was capable of talking someone down who was in the throes of fucking signal possession or whatever that was. So I feel like I could do it again if I had to.
I'm simply built different.
Just better, you know.
We don't like to use the word possession in our line of work, Gumshoe.
I'm sorry. Control.
Direct signal exposure.
Suddenly the entire game shuts down.
Yeah. all the lights, any lights that are on in the interrogation room shut down. The person across the table sighs and says, "Well, now you've done it."
Great, they're gonna sue us.
All right. The suit across the table pulls out a separate notebook and flips it, smaller independent notebook, and flips it open and says, "I believe some commendations are in order." So we do the virtues phase now. Each hero player records virtues for their hero. These are virtues given to them by other players. So each of you receive 2 virtues. And the virtues in Chamber have been replaced by agency values. And those are defense and security, excellence and valor, learning and discovery, and secrecy and discretion. Let's start with just going down the order here. Let's start with Agent Gumshoe. What agency values do we believe Agent Gumshoe espoused?
Well, considering he was the one who sealed up the whole deal, I say excellence and valor is in order.
I would say as also the only person who had just like a lick of discretion about him, secrecy and discretion certainly deserves to be included.
Noted. Agent Saber, what would your fellow agents like to say about you?
I would commend Agent Saber for excellence and valor. His fearlessness in the face of Thrella, or whatever that
Yep.
jungle man in the door was. No fear on that one. No fear.
I don't know. Can I pass?
Brutal.
But his takedown of the Russian agents did show a certain amount of security acumen that I cannot deny.
All right.
And Agent Lords and Ladies. Commendation will you receive?
A pat on the back.
As much as I loathe to say it, I think that I am going to have to learn a thing or two from Agent Lords and Ladies. Their excellence in dealing with this kind of paranormal situation is something that I simply do not have yet, and I have no excuse for that. So, please be patient with me the next time we work together, Agent.
Of course. Was that for excellence in valor or learning and discovery? You said
Excellence
two
and
of those
valor.
things.
Excellence and valor.
Cool.
Whereas I will commend Lords and Ladies for learning and discovery. They half the time seem to be the only one who remembered that the objective there had to do with knowledge of signal and not talking to truckers and shooting Russians. So
Now hold on. We have a government agent in front of us. Don't lie. No one talked to a trucker.
thought
Unless
about it.
unless we're talking about talking with fists, in which case, you know, I'm so sorry. I've forgotten your, paring knife. Paring knife over here. He's the one that punched.
Yeah, well, I spoke to a trucker at one point, or at least I think I did.
You don't even know?
Hey man, every record says that town's been empty.
Fair.
I would be a subpar private investigator if I didn't take that that evidence into account when discussing what I think happened.
I'm sorry, I just have this image of like, Lords and Ladies doing the getting the code name thing wrong to Saber, and Saber leaning across the table and just being like, "Do not patronize me in front of our handlers. I will
God.
cry."
Yes, of course you will. Safety scissors.
You know,
I apologize
you
for
really
talking.
just can't let it lie, can you?
I apologize for patronizing Saber by proxy.
Nope, it's fine. It's great.
And last phase of Exodus is reflection. Handler flips to a new page in the notebook and says, would you like us to make a note of any changes to your profile?
Still a field researcher.
Yeah, no changes for me.
No changes here.
Very good. Person across the table closes their notebook, collects their belongings, gathers them to the chest, reaches forward, and clicks off the light on the table. Say, thank you for your exemplary service. We'll wait for the lights to come up. I believe you way out of the building. Expense cab fare through the usual channels. A few moments pass. The overhead lights in the room come up, and you seated, three of you alone in a room on one side of a table. Nothing on the other side but a pushed back desk chair.
days.
Credits roll.
And this has been Chamber.
Fuck
Pew.
yeah!
Pew.
Good job tonight, everybody.
No, I roll bad every time.
That's
was
only
a-
half the battle.
Yeah, the other battle is
True.
making the bad rules look good.
God, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you three for coming out tonight. It was a little bit of a rocky start, but I thank you for your patience as we all kind of learned the game together. This is a blast, and yeah, I'm definitely going to look to play either more Chamber, more Aegon, more Paragon games in the future.
Yeah.
Super fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
before we conclude for the night, thank you three for coming out. Do you have anything you would like to plug?
No. That was me.
Follow my Twitter at Silmarion if you want fighting games and card games, and also I'm cute.
All three of those very true.
Boom.
True.
Hi, I've been Lou. That's it.
If you guys hadn't questioned my name at the beginning, and then I told you about the Bill Dufresne, Willem Dafoe flip, when we got to the reflection at the end, and they were supposed to ask, like, would you want any changes in your profile? I was gonna say, if I could start going by Willem, but you know.
Oh,
That
just
joke
slowly morph into
failed.
Willem Dafoe.
But that's the only thing I'm gonna plug. A joke that was left untold.
Ah, lovely.
Damn, that joke would have been sick.
It's all right.
Listen, it's fun to lay cards that you didn't get to play on the table sometimes. And yeah, thank you all in the chat for coming out. It was good seeing y'all. Yeah, Theo, this was a really fun game. I'm super looking forward to playing more of it. The other thing I will plug is, hey, we are going to wrap up 1 month of horror tabletop RPGs with an old reliable next Friday. We're going to be playing Mork Borg, a game of pure dark metal aesthetics and doom, and hopefully if I can find some royalty-free heavy metal, hopefully the entire thing will be undertoned by guitar that sounds like it was pulled out of a bog.
Ooh.
So, look forward to that. That will be next week at probably, I have not set a time, but either 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern. We currently have a game on for that, but we have up to 4 seats available for additional players. So if you have enjoyed watching these streams and you would like to participate in one, we got room for more players next Friday. Mork Borg is generally a good time. If you want to play, drop me a line wherever you are following me or mutuals with me, or you can go to my Twitter, which is down in my bio there, and shoot me a DM. And I did check to make sure that people who aren't following me can actually DM me. That probably would have thrown a wrinkle in the entire advertising for players process, now that it's been pointed out to me.
I'll just say, Mork Borg has a truly incredible energy to it. It's the energy of like, you know what? Actually, I think the fucking Metalocalypse energy is like very much like the Mork Borg energy.
Yeah, that is how I have elected to describe it a lot. So yeah, look forward to that. And hey, if you want to play, drop me a line. Until next time, thank you three for coming out tonight, and thank you all for watching. Have yourself
Fuck yeah.
a good evening.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.